Hello, Love Wrestling. It's Thursday night. It's 8 p.m. And you know what that means. It's another new episode of Between Two Beards.
Can we start off with the biggest news of the week? The Rats lost!
But every night I'm making new best friends, and the only problem is we like having a good time. Forget yourself now.
If you've got the budget, I've got the time.
There he is.
Hey, boss!
There's the boss.
Hey!
The man with the finest beard on this screen.
Canadian men, boys, shut the hell up. Let me talk.
You see, the Rads are resourceful. When I got beef with somebody, I can find a way to talk to them.
Listen between two beers.
Getting down.
Hello, Love Wrestling. It is Thursday night. It is 8 p.m. And you all know what that means. It is another...
Tell them what it means. If they don't know, they need to know.
I know. We don't have the number up there. Usually it says the number up there.
Oh, that's on me. It's 184.
184.
When I typed it in, I used our good buddy Zach's template and forgot to add our episode number. So this is episode 184.
Wow.
Holy moly, we've made it that far.
That's over 3 years, right? Because it's 52 weeks in a year. So 52, 104, 156. We're not there. Yeah, we're there. Yeah, we're over 3 years, man.
Yeah, we're heading around the bend to our 200th episodes coming up.
What are we gonna do, man?
I don't know yet. I was hoping you would do that. Just figure that out.
What do you mean? Just
I don't know.
It by myself. What do you want? What do you mean?
No, I want to see what kind of party skills you have. Throw us a party. I got great skills. Okay, dude, there you go. JPJ's Major Rager on the Between Two Beards 200.
That's what it is. I bust tables if I need to. I do whatever I need to do to throw down and partay. But yes, for those of you tuning in, it is another new episode of Between Two Beards, and we got a good one tonight. We will be joined shortly by
the kids say, a big one.
I think so. Yeah. We met this person, this fine individual, at SummerSlam in August.
The SummerSlam.
In Cleveland. Scott, welcome in, my friend. So we met them there. We had, we hung around with them a good chunk of the time. We were sitting next to him at the Damian Priest.
Yeah, we got real emotional.
We did. We were all
Priest
like,
together.
it was good time. And,
she was part of the epic Top Golf game.
She was.
She stakes her claim to being the actual champ, and
she was.
Kimmy.
Our friends Rob and Maggie are celebrating 3 years tomorrow.
Hey,
Let's go. We made them. No, I'm just kidding. They're fantastic.
They are fantastic.
Show. Two of my all-time favorites.
If you watch back in the archive, Scott, there's an episode where we're on there, and JPJ with very gusto was like, I can point out where this, where Estonia is or something, and he was dead wrong.
Oh yeah,
it was Bulgaria. I lied.
Yeah,
and he was like, "Yep, it's right here." And he was way.
I was like, was I way off?
That's how I want to play it.
Was I way off? Hoosier, what's up, man?
Your two favorite beards in the nation. I trimmed mine today.
Mine will be a little trimmed next week when you.
So here's the goal. I trimmed it up because it was doing this.
That's what I'm trying to do. As you can see, like on the outside. So like,
this is PLUGGO said I should start retraining it now so that it doesn't retrain it. Well, I needed to, and I had to do it because like it was getting to a point where I just couldn't handle it. And I couldn't tame my own beard. And I saw today, shout out to our 2023 Independent Wrestler here, Matt Cardona has his own beard products out now.
I saw that.
I might have to hit those up and give them a shot and see how they're going because I want to be always ready.
That's Beardy Award winning.
Beardy Award winning, which I say that because why not? In 2 weeks, the day after Christmas will be the 4th annual Beardy Awards. We do them the last Thursday of the year every year. Stay tuned for that vote.
We should have the voting out by early next week. I would say early next week.
Early next week.
At least a week in advance. At least
we need to hammer that out, but I've been late.
We can hammer. I think we'll be all right. It's 10 awards. We usually get 5 or 10 nominees, depending on the award. We give you guys a week or so to vote, and then the very next week, we announce the winners, and that's kind of a year-ender type show for us. And that's usually how we roll.
That's what we do.
Wait, what is this in reference to? Oh, at my old place. Yeah. That was the first couple years I lived somewhere else when we were doing this show, so the background wasn't always this one. But all in all, Pluggo.
Yes.
How are we doing this week, brother?
We're good, man. We're good. We're tired. Christmas is just around the corner. Funds are tight.
I did some Christmas shopping today, man. I had to. I had to get out there and be in the people. I had to be in the people. The mall, crowded. It's brutal. I didn't want to go.
I used to be that guy. I used to go last minute. I go shopping, try to figure it out. Now I'm like now I'm just like, bring it to the house. Get it sent here. I'm not.
I would say
because I would always last minute. And then be like, oh shit, my Mrs. Pluggo gifts suck. So I've gotten wiser over the years.
Well, I feel like 65% of the gifts I'm getting are going to be delivered here. But Hoosier, I mean, it's that type of year, man.
Yeah.
It's that type of year. We're all a little bit tired.
And is a Hoosier. Shout out. Go ahead. If you want to keep talking Christmas presents, I guess I'm going to say we're going to take down the Hoosiers next Friday.
Wow.
Notre Dame, let's go, baby.
Uh-oh, Hoosier, yeah. We got a Notre Dame. Why now? Okay, because you're in Indiana.
Yes.
So, and I know you live in
South Bend.
You've lived there your whole life?
Yes.
So you're born and raised in South Bend?
Yes.
All right, so that's why. I'm just like, how far away is that from where Indiana is?
For Bloomington? For Bloomington?
Like where the Hoosiers are?
Yeah, so like 3 hours.
Because I'm just, obviously you grew up in
So I'm here. I'm here.
Like, why wouldn't,
I'm here. Indy is here. Bloomington is here, so it's like.
Well, he says he's a Texan fan, so you don't have to worry.
That's fair. I could wear my Texan shirt today. I have that one too.
We got our pal Asian Joe popping in.
Asian Joe.
Good evening to you, sir.
Asian Joe enjoying some chili and cinnamon rolls.
Yes. For anybody popping, we did. That's happened on Rob and Maggie show a while back. Yeah.
And then we tried it here where I asked you where Nebraska.
I did okay there.
You did okay. You weren't bad.
I wasn't. I was close. I was close with Nebraska. I was close.
We love our friend Asian Joe. We love the Mark Order.
We do. And for anyone that just popped in, we will be joined by Stephaine Hypes tonight. We're super, super pumped to have her on the show. She'll be joining in somewhere around 8:20 or 8:30. So you're stuck with just Pluggo and I just shooting the shit.
So as Cody Rhodes would say, what do you guys want to talk about in the chat? Give us some questions. Give us some comments. Give us some statements. We'll read them.
Yeah, we'll be talking Saturday night's main event in WWE with Stephanie, so we're going to try to hold off on that talk until she's here. But ask us anything, whatever you guys want to talk about. We can talk Continental Classic, AEW, Phoenix.
I want to bring this up.
There is that.
I like it. Is that what he's looking at, or?
No, Hoosier. We will talk about that. We will talk about that.
We will talk Saturday.
That was quite the tease.
Can I tell you how much I love the Iron Survivor gimmick? Can I just?
We can talk about. You want to talk about that? Yeah.
Yes. Can I just?
I'm all in on
it's like the second or third year of the Iron Survivor. It's the third. It's such a fun. Like at first, I remember when we first talked about it. That's how long we've been doing the show. We remember the first one, and I was like, I don't understand it. I don't understand quite the rules, but it's so much fun. That 25-minute clock is just a pressure cooker. I just love the match type. We can talk about how good the matches actually were. I just think that is such a fun little thing that they do.
Yeah, I think for a new match type, I think it, I'm a big fan of the time because I think it creates a sense of urgency from everybody in the match. Like there's no mess around time because you only have we'll talk. Yeah, Asian Joe with the Jonathan Taylor Thomas Will Ospreay haircut last night, looking like JTT up in here.
Dawson's Creek hairstyle.
Yeah, literally just
Vanderpeak, baby.
You know who was a fan of that hairstyle? My other co-host on Firmly.
Drew was digging.
He liked it. But yeah, so
it wasn't bad.
JTT. No, but as far as the Iron Survivor goes, I think it's fun. I think it's 25 minutes, so how long the match is going to go. Which I think 25 minutes is a good match. It's quick enough with multiple people like that it does create that sense of urgency all the time. Yeah, I thought it was good. I thought both of them were good. I thought the ladies one was really good. But I thought that whole event was pretty good. I thought the only match that really I didn't feel super great about was the Trick and Ridge Holland one. But I think that's just because I'm not invested in Ridge Holland.
Well, nobody is. And
there's some.
Is it bad? Is it bad that I was thinking if Ridge Holland pulls his victory off against Trick Williams and then the New Day comes out and celebrates with him?
Yeah.
That would have messed up.
Yeah.
Even before the Big E, I'm just not a Ridge Holland guy. I'm just not. If he's for you, then that's awesome. Cool. I never sit here and go, you like a wrestler that I don't like. What's wrong with you? He just doesn't do it for me.
For me, he's starting to. What I can appreciate is down in NXT, it sounds like they're starting to at least give him some layers to a character.
That's fair.
Which is good. He's just not the typical English guy. He's starting to become a site, not but you know what I mean.
Yeah, don't get me wrong. I like the match with.
I'm good with that.
I like the match with Andre Chase.
Oh,
that helps. Yeah,
but that was I didn't feel like Ridge Holland was the guy that should have been fighting Trick for the world title.
Not in that, yeah.
A quick little one-off, and then because that's what it's going to be. I don't think it's going to go long, obviously, because of what happened.
I think what happened is they were we've got the Iron Survivors. Let's not blow a huge Trick match on this gimmick pay-per-view where we have two things that are going to steal the show. So let's just throw Ridge in there. I get it. And Asian Joe saying, how did... Oh, that was not the comment I wanted to put up. Yes, he's commented rapid fire. Every time Drew stares at Ospreay with that hair, somewhere Paula Cole, I don't want to wait, is playing. I don't want to wait. He is asking
Dawson's Creek.
How we feeling about Toni Storm being back? Is she going to act like she had amnesia? I think because
she retired. Timeless Toni Storm retired.
I'm sure you talked about this this morning.
Yes,
I bet you did, and I did not watch because I was at work.
It's okay. I can talk about it now too, man.
But I know you can. But I figured let me say how I feel about it. Yeah. I don't even know if you said. I think she's still the timeless gimmick. I think this is just part of some overall ruse. I feel like it was too we're just gonna retire this gimmick that was the top thing we've done in quite some time. She's the number one wrestler in PWI for a reason. I think it's all part of something bigger. I think it's too quick to go, she's retired of the timeless gimmick, she's back to old Toni Storm. I think there's something going on.
Maybe, but I think, she had that interview a little while ago where she did say she was retired, and we all knew it was in character. She was in the timeless character when she said that, and then her showing up as kind of the original version of Toni Storm that we were used to for so many years. I feel like it's something like she needs to go back to the old version to beat Mariah May. Or Mariah May killed the timeless or something
I think Mariah May is going to go, I want the timeless Toni Storm. I want the one that was the champ. Because the old Toni, the old Toni Storm was the champ too at one point.
Yeah, she was. But I'm also interested to see where Mina aligns in this. Because obviously the main event of Dynamite last night was for the title. She lost that match. It was a good match though, but she lost that match. And then Toni Storm returned. So I'm interested because, all three of them were involved in stuff for a long time in the lead up to Mariah turning on Tony. So I'm very interested to see, like, does Mina stay out of it? Does she align with Mariah and it's 2-on-1 versus Tony? Does she potentially align with Tony to go against Mariah because they had a friendship in Japan when Tony was over there a few months? Like, so I think it's very intriguing to see kind of where they go. And I do want to bring this up again when we talk to Stephanie, but Pluggo. Saraya. Yeah, Saraya is still in AEW. She's used sparingly. But she is.
And that's an understatement.
So, yes. She is there though. She is there. What I wanted to say was, since Saturday, Pluggo, we had NXT Deadline, we had Monday Night Raw, we had NXT, and we had Dynamite, and every single one of those shows were main evented by the women. Every single one. That is dope.
I have one problem though with Wednesday. One small but a problem. I did get to the 9:30 spot and go, the women haven't been on yet. But I also got to that spot and go, there hasn't been any women on the show. The Mercedes and Anna Jay stuff should have been moved up. Should have let that have its thing. It's because it was like boom, boom, boom. And I was like, Tony, you main evented the women. That's awesome. It's a step in the right direction. But there's no reason that we had to do all the women's stuff at 9:45. You could have given Mercedes and Anna Jay like an 8:20 spot, break up that stuff at the first hour. That was my only qualm, but it was awesome and it was cool and the match was good. And I know that there's going to be a bunch of trolls that are like, shut up. It was fine. It was a good week. It was a good week.
Yeah. But I just thought that was cool that the ladies are kind of getting the main event shine here for 4 major shows in a row. The more things like that happen, the more that just becomes the norm, and we don't even have this type of conversation where one of us has to say, "Oh, did you notice that?" Like, so I think
it was great.
Yeah, very good, very, very good. Oh, we got our buddy Dan. Speaking of, we were talking about Dan off the air here.
We were,
but Dan says, "Do you fellas think?" Because now, we can talk about this, and we'll get Stephanie's opinion as well when she pops in here in a few minutes. The rumor is that CM Punk and Rollins are going to fight on that first Raw of Netflix. And that's when we're going to get the first match between them. I still think it's the Mania match for both of them. I think we build to that. So most likely, Dan, to answer that question, he basically asked if he thinks there'll be a stipulation or it's just a one. I think it'll be a regular one-on-one match, and then I think it'll build to a stipulation match at WrestleMania. That's how I feel.
Or
I don't think it's a one and done.
It can't be.
No, right?
It'd be crazy.
We're supposed to have it last year. We're back at it now to get back to it this year at Mania for both of them. I just can't see it being a one and done.
I saw that rumor and I thought that makes sense if you want to draw the eyes to Netflix and yada yada and do that. There's going to be some schmozzy way they do it. There has to be. Maybe Drew gets involved because he's a kind of aligning with Seth, but not aligned with Seth, and he doesn't like Punk either. So maybe there's some way then we get, because I don't know. I mean, either way you shake it, I'm looking forward to that. I think that those two have done a really good job and telling some really fun stories, and I think Seth explained himself super well on Monday, and I still back Seth. I know Sammy's over here speaking, his truths and trying to be the voice of reason and be the good guy, but Seth's not wrong.
No. You know who else wasn't wrong this past week? Drew McIntyre.
No.
As well. Why are Kevin Owens,
they're the only two,
Rollins, and Drew McIntyre the only people that speak sense?
They're like, did you guys not see what happened over the last 4 years? Like, what's wrong with you?
Drew McIntyre was like, he didn't put over CM Punk, but in that he was he said at least CM Punk took a bribe.
Yeah, he made
an offer, like at least.
Sure.
He's like, at least he did that. Like, what about you? What about you, Sammy? The rest of you just tucked your tails behind your legs and ran.
Okay, see, Dan, now you're pushing it.
Yeah, don't do that.
Now you're pushing it, Dan.
We almost kicked Kimmy off the show.
By the way, Dan's going to be in my city. Maybe he should buy me lunch for those scathing comments.
I know, right? Get him on that VIP list, Dan.
Yeah, Dan.
Give him that +1.
If you're gonna sit here and back Kofi and Xavier, I'm gonna need.
You could do. Anyway, I can't.
We can say, Dan. I will say that segment was good.
Oh, he goes, I got you for lunch, bro. There you go. You got free lunch.
I got free lunch.
Yeah, at least got free lunch this weekend, bro. Scott, be nice.
Saturday.
Be nice, but Scott, Dan is wrong. Dan is wrong. That's good. That's
no, it was. We could have hit it with a sledgehammer. Blah blah. Oh, shut up, Kofi. Shut up.
Yeah. That can I just say that was the only time that awful crowd did anything on Monday. Truly.
And I got to be honest with you. Did it not feel though like
it was fake audio?
At first, I was like, did they hesitate or they were just waiting for them to speak? Because at first I was like, why aren't you booing them immediately?
Yeah.
And I was like, this is weird. And then the second he spoke, it was the Dom thing. And I was like, please tell me they're not piping that in. Let that be real. Even if it was piped in, it was perfectly done. Yeah. And, justice for Big E.
Oh, for sure. And I like, and obviously that'll be something. I need Stephanie's opinion on that.
You know what we should do? We should post our video of making meals for children and families in need with Big E and be like, Xavier Kofi, where were you?
Yeah.
Exactly.
Hey, Scott. So what?
So
what?
Be nice to Scott if he actually broke.
No, I love it. I'm doing the Kofi thing. I'm doing the Kofi. Dan, Scott knows I love him. Oh, well, yeah, that's exactly. I had a broken neck. Okay.
So what? So what?
Oh, tremendous. Unbelievable. Like, what a line. Yeah, I think so. We're gonna
Bailey Women's United States title.
Yeah, we have both semifinal Women's United States. It's Bailey versus Chelsea Green and Tiffany Stratton versus Mi Chin. Both those are going to be happening tomorrow because on Saturday, the championship match to crown the first ever Women's United States champion will be happening at Saturday night's main event. So we got that tomorrow. I assume there'll be bloodline stuff.
There's always bloodline. There'll be a recap, an entrance walk in through the back.
Yep.
Then they'll do some stuff. So it's going to take like 45 minutes of the show.
Oh, for sure. Everything just hold on, wait a minute. Oh, my StreamYard just we're good. We're all here, but my StreamYard just went nutty on me. I was like, what the hell's going on? Yeah, so
and if Chelsea Green
we'll get Cody
does not win, I love Bailey.
Oh, Bailey's
but if Chelsea Green is not in the finals of this thing, then we've made a mistake.
Well, how do you think they go? Because I think there's two ways they go here. I think it's Chelsea and Mi Chin in the finals, where you kind of run back that feud they had over the summer, or do they go? We're going big time, and we're doing Bailey versus.
Sure, Dan.
Yeah, no, I saw that. You know what?
Tiffany, I think
Tiffany needed to win.
I think she gets in though. I think she beats Mi Chin, and she gets in, and she gets.
Then it would be Bailey.
Here's how I feel. No, I think it's Chelsea and Tiffany, and somebody screws. Well, we're trying to turn Tiffany face.
Yes,
we're getting. So somebody's going to screw her
in the
finals. Not tomorrow night, but tomorrow. Because I'm thinking. I think somehow Bailey, Chelsea Green beats Bailey. Something happens there. And I think it's Tiffany and Chelsea. Chelsea gets screwed in the finals. And then that's her that's the beginning of her official babyface turn. Because she's then going to cash in because she just lost out on another belt. So now it's all going to be and then we're going to see Chelsea Green with that belt. That's what I want. Now, if Bailey won, would we be upset? Absolutely not. We love Bailey on this program. Bailey is our girl. Go back through the archives of this very channel. If we're being honest, Bailey.
If we're being honest, if you really wanted to establish establish a new belt with the first champion, there isn't a more established person or bigger name in the tournament than Bailey. So if Bailey were to be the first ever champion and have a good run with it for the first couple months, she will establish that belt immediately because she's one of the all-time greats.
But on the
I am more of the belief that these titles should be used to elevate somebody.
Yes.
As opposed, and I understand
Bailey's already there.
Already there. She don't need this. Like if she got it, cool. It's another thing on the resume. She can say the Grand Slam stuff when she eventually wins the IC down the line too. Like I get it, but Bailey doesn't need to win this tournament. I think it goes a long way if Chelsea Green or Mi Chin win it. Obviously, it would go a long way for Tiffy too, but she's got a briefcase that she's going to be fine. She's going to be fine with where she's going.
That's what I'm saying. I think
really needs this.
But I think you keep her hot We keep her running. But
Yeah.
does that mean like Charlotte and Becky and all them aren't Grand Slam champions anymore? Because we now have 2 new titles that they have to win.
I think so.
Because
Yeah,
wasn't it Raw, SmackDown, tag titles, and NXT Championship, right? That would be the Grand Slam for the women.
Yeah, but now you have
But
to win
now-
both mid-card titles.
What's it? 6?
Yeah. So I think that would open it up. So yeah, but look, like I said, going into it when the bracket started, I was like, oh, I think it'll be Chelsea Green. I had Chelsea Green and Naomi. That's what I had in the finals. Because again, I was like, yeah, I was like, and like, again, Dan, you are making 100% sense here where you say, I feel like Bayley needs to be the inaugural champ for the casual fan. You need an established wrestler to give the belt credibility. Don't have to be a long run, but it needs to be meaningful. That is precisely why someone like Bayley would be a perfect choice for this. But at the same time, again, I am of the belief, like I look over at the IC tournament and I'm like, Dakota Kai should win this. That is so like and Drew, you might not be wrong. You might not be wrong.
The Charlotte effect is real. By the way, I'm so sick of the internet being like, she should just stay away from ever. The women's division is fine. Why wouldn't
one of them?
Why wouldn't you put a cherry on top of this already stacked division, my guy? Drew, you know I love you, but you're wrong. But you're wrong.
Yeah.
That's why Drew hangs out with you.
And it's one of those things where, like, again, you get these 2 mid-card titles that are getting introduced. Oh yeah, that'd be fun. Well, that'd be fun.
Ding dong, hello.
Here's my thing though. Okay, so, and I want to say this as respectfully as I can.
Ooh.
But when you ask that question, Scott, I don't think that works on the Raw side of things because unfortunately, I don't think anyone really gives a crap about Natalya. Whereas people still care about like Bayley and Natalya winning these. That's 2 different things. Natalya is like one of the all-time greats, no doubt first ballot Hall of Famer, one of the best in-ring wrestlers ever. She's excellent. But at the same time, right now in today's current landscape, that will not move the needle at all. At all. And that's why I think it's a slightly different thing when it comes to the Raw side of it, you know? So I see Drew says the cherry flavor is going to overpower the ice cream. No. As far as Charlotte goes.
But so I was thinking about this, right? I was thinking about Charlotte today. I was thinking about, because I kept seeing that post. And I kept thinking, like, did the men's division in WWE need CM Punk? No, they were fine.
Yeah.
But damn it, is it better that he's there? 100%.
Yeah.
Is it awesome that he's on your roster and you can use him to do awesome things? Oh, 100%. Charlotte Flair is that. Like,
same.
Yeah. We don't need her, but man, is it going to be awesome when she's back, Drew. You eat those words. I can't wait for that firmly when you're sitting there going, damn, that Charlotte match was dope.
100%. 100%.
You know what, JPJ? That Charlotte Flair Tiffany Stratton match was my match of the year. I had no idea.
True. It's true.
But yeah, so, I get why people don't like Charlotte. I understand.
Look at the complaint of her back, you know, in the last regime, the complaint of her always showing up and winning everything, that is a valid complaint. I'm not saying that type of complaint is not merited or warranted. What I am saying, though, is that if you think that the company, the shows, the division is not better with Charlotte Flair in it, you are just wrong. You're just wrong.
You're allowed to be. You're allowed.
You're allowed. Yes, you are 100% allowed to be wrong. But you are wrong.
I'm not comparing apples to apples. I'm just saying the idea of like.
Oh, I think that's actually. So Dan says Natalya has been the victim of a decade of terrible booking. He was losing 6-minute matches to girls who couldn't tie her boots, and too much credibility has lost. She's basically the female Dolph Ziggler.
That's a great shout.
I said that's a good comp.
Wouldn't Natalya be? She was early. She was a decade too early.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, if she was black and gold during that 4 horsewomen era,
she would have been
like
she would have been right up there at the top with all of them.
Been right up there at the top because she can wrestle circles around anyone on the roster.
So that's my only thing when it comes to these 2 tournaments. And again, this does not speak to the quality of wrestler that Natalya is, but because of her booking and how she is kind of, we don't see her at all. She barely wrestles on television. I feel like if she were to, and it works with the lineage of her family, obviously the IC title with Owen and Brett and Bulldog. Like I understand. But I feel like if she wins the tournament, I think immediately a lot of fans automatically do not care about that belt at all. Like that's just how it goes. That's just how I feel about it. And that's not, again, that is not, I'm not trying to make that a slight on anybody because it's not. But I don't think that the fans have enough investment in Natalya as a character, as a wrestler anymore, because she has been an afterthought for a decade or 5 years. That I think if she wins that title, the luster of that title, it just, the crowd doesn't get excited for that. You know what I mean? Like, I just think
they ain't vibing it. They're not having it.
Now, Natalya making a run and going to the finals and putting over somebody like a Dakota Kai or like I have no problem with Natalya making a run.
I'm mad Shayna Baszler didn't get a run, man.
Yeah, like I'm all good with Natalya making a run to the finals as kind of being like, yeah, I'm the veteran here. This is my family's heritage with this title. I'm gonna win it, and she's like the final test for Lyra Valkyria, or I think they're on the same bracket though, so that would be the semifinal match if it was Natalya and Lyra. But that's kind of how I view it. I personally think the finals will be Dakota Kai going one-on-one with Lyra. I personally think that should be the finals. I'm good with either one of them winning. To kind of put it on a fresh face and kind of do that thing. But we'll see. We'll see. Oh, God.
He said, oh, God.
Yeah.
I'm
getting messages.
Oh, Logan Paul retired.
I saw that. Is anybody sad? Anybody sad about that? Do we need to talk that through?
I don't think he's actually retired, but yeah, he said today he's a dad, bro. I'm a dad too, bro. I still show up to work every week.
Oh, Pluggo, do you think?
Mrs. Pluggo,
bro,
the most beautiful woman in the world. How are you today, honey? Nice to see you. Nice to see that you're here.
What you guys?
She hasn't yelled at me yet.
I was gonna say what you guys don't know is before we went live, Pluggo asked Mrs. Pluggo out on a date on Saturday, and she laughed right in his face.
We had plans this Saturday that kind of fell through, and I was like, oh, I should ask Mrs. Pluggo on a date if she's free, and she went,
and which right in his face. She just laughed right in his face.
Mrs. Pluggo speak is, I'm busy, fool. Get away from me.
100%. 100%.
So
it was
I don't think
incredible.
Maybe I don't want to go out with Mrs. Pluggo this Saturday. Maybe I'll just tell her, I'm sorry you had your chance. It ain't happening now.
I saw it happen. I was a witness. There was a date was asked on Saturday night. And Mrs. Pluggo laughed in his face. That's
I'm
exactly
I am a giant wimp, and if she'll batter eyes at me, and I'll go, okay, let's go.
Yeah. All right,
fully.
Pluggo.
Okay.
Do it.
So I don't know if this is the official return of her podcasting career, but she's back. And she asked to come on our show, which is crazy. We met her in Cleveland. She's absolutely fantastic. She's wonderful. She's also she's the self-proclaimed queen of Top Golf. Miss Stephaine Hypes in the house.
Self-proclaimed queen? I am. No, I'm just kidding.
Yeah, she did.
Listen, there's a lot. I gotta. There's a lot of internet chatter about that.
Listen, the lore of this has gone to levels.
Like don the hats, so I brought a hat.
Oh, I love it.
Oh, nice.
It doesn't fit over my headset. Like I don't.
It's hard.
How do you do this? Oh, you put your headset.
You got to put the headset over the hat.
Okay, hold on.
Yeah, so you just got you put the headset over the hat, and I think you'll be able to do it.
There we go.
I like the hat.
I don't want to feel the man.
Yeah. And now you just put that right over there. It should fit like a glove. Like a glove.
Hello.
There it is.
She said it was a giggle, by the way, but I don't know if it was a good giggle or not. But yeah, we all got our hats on. How are you, first and foremost? Is this the official return to podcasting?
I don't know. I just knew that I know I miss it.
Yeah.
And I was like, I know we were kind of talking like a couple months ago. I had some family stuff going on that between the family stuff and it's just my busy season at work, it just wasn't working out. And so I was like, well, I kind of miss it. Should I hop back on? Should I start doing podcasting again? And I was like, the first show I want to go on is Between Two Beards. I just they're so better.
Right.
We bonded. We bonded.
I just met them this year, guys.
We bonded immediately. We bonded
for the first time, and they're like the coolest people ever. So
I know that we've talked extensively about that Topgolf game, but I think the moment that we started our bond was waiting for our Ubers forever. At the end of it, it was just us three left, and we were just like
30-minute Uber wait.
Yep.
It was raining out. It was just
that'll make anyone bond. And we all had early morning media the next day. And of course we stayed at Topgolf till almost like 10 something.
Yeah, it was on the later side. Then we all had to get up early for the media stuff.
I don't know about y'all, but at the ripe age of 38, past 10 p.m.
You're younger than me. You're younger than me, so
that was
by much. I'm only a couple years older than you, but
that was my first media run to that extent, especially like that was my first, and we went like pretty hard with everything that we ended up doing. And I got home and I was like excited to be home, and I sat and I showed the kids all the pictures and I talked to the wife and got situated, and immediately just died for like 12 hours. She showed.
It's just a lot. WrestleMania, like, have you guys done any other pay-per-view yet?
So I was able, before we went to SummerSlam, I was able to do Money in the Bank in Toronto earlier this year. So those are my first two. So Toronto was my first experience. Oh, what is that? Krispy Kreme.
Oh, this is Pluggo just showed me this.
All right.
Oh, that's one of those Ogalofs or
axolotls, which I didn't think were real.
Axolotl. I was so close.
An axolotl, which apparently is a real animal. I didn't know that until like this year.
I never heard of that before.
It's not a real animal, is it?
No, that can't be. I'm almost 40 years old. I never heard of that creature before in my life.
Creatures that the kids are into these days.
Yeah. So I got to do Money in the Bank in Toronto in July, which was awesome. And I did media and that stuff, and that was a great opportunity. But then we got to SummerSlam, and SummerSlam was just so much bigger. Like, it was just such a bigger thing than Money in the Bank.
I met y'all at Mania or Cleveland?
Cleveland.
Oh, I met you in Cleveland. Okay, I'm like, where were we? Have you done Mania yet?
No.
Oh,
not as media.
God.
Yeah.
Pluggo, you want to talk about crashing out?
Yeah.
Mania is
Sleep
insane.
is my favorite.
It's so much fun because, at least for me, and I always tell people this, I'm not like a traditional media person. I am a fan first, and I do media second, or content creation, or whatever you want to call it. I don't really have a name for it. Just my fandom expressed, if you will. Yeah. But for me, like, whenever I go, I'm a big traveler. So whenever I have these shows, I try to go to shows in places that I've never been, because I also do the tourist thing. Like, I always make time to do tourist, Stephanie, but there's also so much going on Mania weekend, like between WrestleCon, obviously all the indie shows, also doing a whole bunch of stuff. Like, you want to catch as much as possible while a Mania, like all of it. And it's a lot. And so I literally have a schedule.
You gotta write it out.
Like, going, okay, on this day, I'm going to do these things on this day. And then you're waiting to hear back from obviously WWE media and like tell you what you got into, what you didn't get into. And so then you have to work your schedule around that. It's just so you can lightly plan.
Yeah. That's what happened to us. Yeah.
You have WWE World, which I'm assuming they'll do again. This year was the first time they had done it to that extent. It reminded me of Access back in the day. I don't know
I used to love Access. Yeah.
It was very similar to that. Just maybe even bigger. But it was a lot of fun, and I had already planned on kind of doing more Access coverage than media interviewing, if you will. Yeah. So I did the early morning media. Actually left early morning media early because I was supposed to meet up with Becky. So I was like, I stayed at early morning media for like
what do I do?
An hour, and then I was like, well, gotta go, because again, I'm a fan first. No, but it's a lot of fun, but it is tiring because it's like 4 or 5 days versus the others, which is usually maybe 1, 2, or 3.
That's why I'm not super excited about 2-day SummerSlams.
I don't want it.
I mean, don't get me wrong. I'll watch it. I'll be excited, but like, I like the idea of like, all right, it's done. We can move on. And it was a fun time. It was exhausting for sure. I think what happened with us is we ended up doing the media scrum, and then we rushed over to Damian Priest. But in that time frame, they'd said, "Oh yeah, here's access to this and this too." And we're like, "Well, of course we're gonna go." And then it's like, when is
Did you do the Sami Zayn thing? Did you do the Sami Zayn thing?
Yes, we did. Yeah,
you did.
Like,
yeah.
We did SmackDown, Sammy, all of it. We're like, when do we breathe?
Yeah, you sat in between the beards. You sat in between.
I
got real emotional.
Between the beards.
Correct. And that was, and it was stuff like that. But like, as we were leaving the media thing, the two gentlemen, Greg and Chuck were like saying our goodbyes or whatever, and they were like, "Oh, what else do you have this weekend? Like, what else did you get approved for?" And at the time, the Damian Priest thing was the only thing that PLUGGO and I got approved for. But after the media thing, he was like, "You only got that?" And I was like, "Yeah." He goes, "All right." And I was Chuck. Chuck was like, "Give me your cell phone number. I'll make sure you get other stuff." And he was just like, "All right." And I was like,
"That's awesome.
All right." And then we just
try and make it fair. They try and make it cool. Yeah. Don't apply for something you really don't want to do. I tell people that all the time. Like, I will apply for things. Like I've never gotten into so far the Make-A-Wish thing. I haven't gotten to one of those yet. But I think Wally Mania was the same night as the Sami Zayn.
Oh yeah, Wally Mania.
And that's why I couldn't do Sami Zayn if I remember correctly. I was doing Wally Mania, but you have to pick and choose. And again, you still want to hang out with your wrestling people. You still want to like go do things. I wanted to go do WrestleCon Saturday morning, so that's what they did. So you have to find time to have your fun too, right? Like it's a one in a kind experience. I'm very grateful and blessed. I'm sure as you guys are as well, to be able to do media stuff. On the other end, it's really cool. But at the same time, it is so tiring.
It is.
And that's the only reason why I don't want the 2-day thing on every pay-per-view. I'm like, WrestleMania, I expect it.
Yeah, but I was like, this rules. This is awesome. This is like but I also go, I don't think I could do this every week or every month. Like I am just beat. And then Hoosier's asking a question for all three of us. I think it's a good one. He said he's been a WWE fanatic since he was young. Lad, how does one get into a gig like that? So why don't we do that? Stephanie, as everybody kind of knows our story, how did you get into these gigs of becoming into this content creation of this wrestling media space? Let the fans know where you started, and maybe that'll inspire them to start their own thing.
Guys, I don't know.
All right. Roll credit.
I'm just joking. I mean, it's kind of true. I do marketing as for a living. I was given the name, Pro Wrestling Hype Woman, just because I guess of my positivity or whatever it might be. Mm-hmm. It honestly just started me just posting online. A lot of the wrestlers follow me. And as it turns out, which I didn't know until I went into a media event for the first time, a lot of the WWE PR people follow me as well. And I didn't know that. So it actually started Steve Fall. He had his own interviewing thing going, and we used to do like podcasts and stuff together, like Raw reviews and stuff like that. And he was like, "Have you ever thought about doing like the interviews and stuff?" And I was like, "No, absolutely not. That sounds like a horrible idea." And he's like, "Well, if you're going to Mania, this was WrestleMania in Hollywood." He's like, let's just see, And at the time, they were allowing someone to bring like a partner. At the time, and so. That's basically how I got in. Like, I just helped him with his camera equipment and stuff. I did the filming and everything. I just kind of watched how the process worked because I was not an interviewer. And so I got in on my own name, and I actually gave them my name. And that's when I found out. They're like, "Oh, hey, Stephanie, nice to meet you." And I was like, "You know who I am?" And they're like, "Yeah, we follow you." I'm like, "Oh." I'm like, I don't know if that's good or bad, but
you're like, oh, maybe I should look back through these tweets.
No, like seriously, I was like, I'm not all like I'm pretty positive, but I give WWE criticism.
Yeah, you got to critique,
right? Like,
you got to critique every so often. Yeah, when it's
and so I'm just like, okay, cool. So I did get it on my own name, but I just said I'm working with Steve Fall on the thing. And that's basically how I got in. I just started watching how he did it. And then that was WrestleMania, and then at SummerSlam in Detroit.
So this is 2 years ago now? Is this 2 years ago or before that? Yeah, something like that. I don't know.
You're asking questions, man.
Wrong part. Yeah, I know.
I do not remember.
I didn't tell Stephanie we were grilling.
WrestleMania Hollywood. That was last year, right?
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah,
LA was last year.
LA was Philly. 39 was LA. Philly was this year.
Okay,
next year will be Vegas.
Okay, so it was last year. Okay.
Yeah.
So and then SummerSlam Detroit last year, Steve had to leave early because he had a family trip that was already booked, and his wife was not letting him out of that. And so he came and did early morning media. I met him there, and that was kind of the first time I had done an interview because he was like, "Do you want to try it?" And I'm like, oh. And I interviewed Baron Corbin. He was the very first interview I've ever done. And I told him as such. I was like, "You're the very first person I've ever interviewed ever." And he's like, "All right, I'm glad to be the first." And I was like, but he was so kind, so nice. And then it just kind of took off from there. Steve had to leave, so he was like, "Can you cover the press conference for me?" And I was like, "Sure." So I did it for him and his channel, but they let me into the press conference, and apparently I impressed somebody. So I was invited back. Yeah. And they were like, "Do you want to do this?" And I'm like, "Sure."
Yeah.
And then I kind of got linked with Body Slam Net. And you know, Cass is amazing. And he was like, "If you want to be the interviewer, go do it." And I was like, okay. So that's kind of how it just all started. Like, I wasn't looking for it per se, but just find someone who's doing it, shadow them if you can. They don't necessarily let you bring someone, but even if you just watch and study their interviews, and just try. The email is wwepr at wwe.com. Yeah. Just send the email, man. You never know.
That's why I tell everybody that ever asks me about, like, "Oh, I'd love to do like this." I always tell people, just start. Yeah. Just start with what you're comfortable with. Tweet, post Facebook.
If you want to write articles, whatever you want to do.
Whatever you want to do, just do it. And don't worry about the quality is obviously important, but if you fixate so much on that you just don't put anything out, there's nothing to judge. So
be okay.
And I can attest to that being my MO because I post the dumbest shit on the internet all the time.
Have you? I don't know if you have because you're a busy lady. Have you seen the shit that this guy friggin' does?
I've seen some of it. Yes, it makes me laugh.
He's eating rice bowls with fucking Mountain Dew in it.
I stand by that. Justice for Shayna. It's for Shayna. She should be our Intercontinental Champion.
He had Sour Patch Kids in a friggin' rice bowl this week.
The best piece of advice I ever got was from Titus O'Neil. It is something he told me personally.
And he goes,
it's something. No, that's exactly what I'm just kidding. No, it's a quote we've all heard, but for some reason, when he said it, it was the right time and the right place for me to hear it. If that makes sense. And he said, "Closed mouths don't get fed." That's what he told me, and I was like, because I had asked for something, and he wasn't able to do it, and I was like, "I'm so sorry for asking," like whatever, and he was like, "Don't apologize." He's like, "Closed mouths don't get fed." And I was kind of like, what?
And I think
like,
that's
no matter what you want or what want to do, he's like, don't ever not ask.
Exactly.
He's like the worst people can tell you is no.
Yeah, and you have to be okay with hearing
and you try again, and it's going to be okay. And another thing, I got to ask Bianca, Jade, and Naomi a question at the press conference, and Bianca said a quote there when she said, "What's meant for you will always be for you."
Yeah.
Right.
For sure.
And that's hard to hear sometimes. There's sometimes you just want things when you want them, and it's just not for you, or it's not your time. And I just think that people get, to your point, so locked into the, oh, my content, oh, I got to change it, or I got to be more like this person or more like that person. One thing I've learned about WWE PR/media is that they really appreciate that we all do things differently. We all specialize in something. We all don't do the exact same thing. There's traditional media that's like news. There's traditional podcasters. There's traditional interviewers. there's just content creators, there's streamers, there's writers, and to me, it's a great mix of everything. Like, I don't think I fit any of those things perfectly. I'm just a fan who loves talking about WWE and wrestling, and I like to post about it and chat, and I get the engagement, and I get, the views and the looks or whatever, but I don't do it on purpose to get views and looks. I do it because I love talking about it. And I think they understand that and see that. So just be yourself.
That's the beautiful thing about this internet, right? Is I always go with post what you want, like post what you love. Like for me, so I post what I think is funny or what I enjoy, and then I just hope other people find it. I'm not, if they find it, awesome, and if they don't, and I tell people this all the time, I strike out quite a bit in this game. I know people see it and go, "Oh, he's doing this media thing, he's killing it." I strike out a lot too. I've been very blessed to have some things. So if you're in the chat, just start doing it. And hey, we told people this in Cleveland. We were sitting around JP. It was crazy for us, right? We're sitting at a table with like some big names and stuff and just hanging out. We're not going to name drop them and everything. And a couple people came up to us and were like, "Hey, you're the Beards guys. We know you." And they were telling us the same thing. And I was like, "Listen, if you start a podcast tomorrow, there's one like right here. Like I will immediately follow it." I love to see what people come up with in the space, and we need more cool people in the space. So
and I think one of the important things that Steph said there was you have to be yourself, right? One of the things that me and PLUGGO said when we were making this thing, when we were talking about the idea of this show, is we said there are thousands of other wrestling podcasts where guys like us sit here and talk about wrestling. So, and some of them are great, some whatever. So how do we differentiate ourselves to be, yes, we are two bearded guys that talk about wrestling, but we're not the other 150 bearded guys you see talking about wrestling. Like, how do we stand out, right? And I think that was like, I knew I wanted to work with him. He reciprocated it. We started mulling over the idea, and that was like the one thing we agreed on was like, hey, like there's going to be some stuff that is going to be like other podcasts, right? But how do we do a few things here or there or whatever that go, oh wow, I'd never seen that before on another wrestling podcast, or oh, I'd never seen them act that way, something like that. So,
and you got to do it for the love of it. If you're trying to do this to become rich, make money, get hired by WWE, all that stuff, it's not going to work. Do you be yourself, put the work in, and if things happen, things happen. If they don't, they don't. But I'm just like, you have to do it because you love it, not because you're expecting something.
And that's the thing, like that I noticed, especially for my first big one in Cleveland, and even the little media thing I did in Fastlane, like. At the core of most of the people in that room, they're fans. Like you said, there are traditional news types that have to do the news coverage. Maybe they're not as hip to the WWE thing as we are, but like that group of people that we were hanging out with and that we were watching work, they were all fans of this and they love doing it. And sure, it's tough and sure, it's hard and there's bad days and there's good days. But at the end of the day, it's just something that we love doing, and we got it's a really fun opportunity. So like, at the end of the day, just be a fan, just enjoy it. Don't, cross any lines and be, you can have criticisms, but be respectful of your criticisms and everything will work out if you put in that work. Yeah. Somebody's in the chat here. Alexander.
We have Jane saying good evening. And then she said, "You're yourself, and that's what makes you an amazing person and interviewer, Steph." So welcome in, Alexander.
Steph.
That's my sister from France.
Oh, beauty. From France. Hey. All right.
Hey.
From France.
Wow. That's awesome.
Not to toot your horn, but that is true. You were a few people ahead of us in that line, and it was cool to kind of watch you work and watch your vibe and do your thing.
Yeah, that's what we're doing the whole time. Because we were confident in what we were doing. We had a good idea. We were like, hey, there's going to be two of us. We're going to be the only people here that have two people interviewing them at the same time. Like we're going to stand out that way. But it was really our first big thing. So we were just like, all right. So like you, Ella J, like the people that were in front of us or there that we respect, Sean and like those people, we were like, we're going to do our own thing. We're going to be between two beards. Like we're going to do our own thing. But like, there are resources and people that we are now friendly with in this room that have been doing it for much longer than us. And they are at the tip top of this game. Like they are very good at what they do. Like pay attention.
There's also that small
I mean?
moment where you're like, hopefully this works, man. They're so good.
Yeah.
Like the only thing I get nervous about is like can I cuss?
You can do whatever the fuck you want, Stephanie.
That's because I'm like, I don't want to be that person just cussing on someone's pod. No, like the one thing I get nervous about is like the camera equipment. Like, is the microphone gonna work? Is the camera gonna record? Like, I'm like, that's the only thing. Like the interviewing part, the talking part.
Yeah.
One thing so there's a couple of things like feedback people have given me, and it's like the wrestlers themselves and people that watch, and they're like, it feels like we're just having a conversation with you. Like we're just sitting down, just eating coffee, not that we're like doing an interview, right?
Yeah.
And that's how I always want to talk to people. I want to talk to people like we're just having a chit chat, right? I don't want to be like, so who is your favorite wrestler of all time? What is your Mount Rushmore? What like I don't want to do it off that robot way, right? Yeah. Like talk to them about things that they care about, that they love.
When you all sat down at first, I was like, oh shit, they're sitting down. Are we not allowed to stand, JPJ? What do we do? There's only 2 chairs.
You all have wrestlers, you stand.
Yeah.
We're like sitting. Okay. Did we tell Bailey to stand up?
We were in Bailey's line first, and she got there and sat down, and we were like, oh no.
We're like, oh no, the whole thing is shot.
Oh, that changes our whole fucking plan. We gotta leave. We gotta get out of here, man.
And then we're like, Bailey, hi, would you mind standing? And she's like, oh yeah, sure, no problem. And it was all good from there. But that initial thing, right? Because we were the only ones that stood at that point, and we're the only people doing the 2-man run. Yes. And it was like, oh God. And luckily for us,
like, if we blow this, it hit well, and we got compliments. Like Chuck gave us we got good compliments. Like they were coming up to us and like saying, hey, like, great job, you're doing good time wise. Like the wrestlers are really digging it. And then we had other media people that are like, one guy who hung out with us at Top Golf, I'll leave his name out of it, but he leans in and he goes, I've been doing this shit for 5 years and they never said a fucking word to me. And that's what he said. That's what he said, because he had witnessed one of the PR people come over to Paul and I.
But that moment,
you're killing it, you're great, like that. And we're like, oh, that's got to be good. And he's like, I've been doing this for literally 5 years, and they have not said one fucking word to me ever.
But we're like,
if they like someone, like what you call her always tells me good job, Laura. She always tells me good job. Greg always gives me compliments. I'm just like, okay, y'all are keeping my confidence high. This is good. Given that I honestly thought they were telling everybody that, so I didn't know that. But this is a good example, and I don't know if I told y'all there, but at Mania, the match with Bayley and Io, obviously Bayley had been wanting that one-on-one title match for a very long time in her career. For anyone who's a 4 Horsewomen fan, a Bayley fan, it meant a lot. So that was a very emotional match for me, and again, I'm still newer in the press box. Okay. Like, I'm trying to be professional. I was kind of surrounded by some of the traditional news people, so they're a little more serious. And so, but Bayley's match, I was standing the whole time, cheering, yelling, all the things. And when she won, I start bawling. I was screaming and just start crying. And I'm like, oh my God, get yourself together, Stephanie. I was like, they're going to be like, ma'am, can you please get out of here with all that? Like, I was just like, I didn't know. Overthinking, of course. Yeah. And I'm sitting there crying. So I go to turn around because the bathroom's around the corner. So I can go like, wipe my makeup or whatever. And I turn around and WWE PR is right there. As I turn around and I'm like, oh, I'm sorry. And he's like, sorry for what? And I was like, because I'm crying and I'm sorry. Like,
You've changed. You've changed then. You've changed then because I am the first. I don't believe I'm supposed to be in this press box. I can't believe it's a thing. And I'm sitting there doing my thing, and you come up from behind, go, what are you doing? And I thought that was the moment we're going to get yanked out. And I turn around, it's just you messing with me. I pissed myself.
I did.
I was like,
listen to the end. Not that I changed, but
no, I'm just giving you
I understood more. So when I turned around and I was crying, and he's like, sorry for what? And I was like, because I'm crying, and I know like we're supposed to be professional, blah, blah. And he looked at me and he's like, this is what we love. He's like, that's what we want to see. The passion. You care. You love it. He was like, that's exactly how it should be. He's like, don't ever apologize for getting emotional and getting like emotionally involved. Like, he's like, we love it. And I was kind of like, oh, okay. And I like went to the bathroom. But after that, I was just kind of like, huh. Like, I was like, I when you first get in there, it's extremely intimidating because you do have people who've been doing this for a very long time. You have people who are the more traditional media, and you're like, how do you conduct yourself? Like,
you have like Sports Illustrated.
Fan?
Yeah.
Do I, try and be more professional? You just find a happy medium, right? And so when you met me at SummerSlam, that was me, right? That was me just being me, the fan, Stephanie, who was doing media, right? So I was having fun and I was joking around and going, saying hi to people and seeing what people were doing and taking pictures with people and doing live chat. What's it called? Going live on Instagram with like updates and like with other people and just stuff like that because it's part of content creation, right?
Yeah.
But it's okay to just breathe and just be yourself. You're in there for a reason. They liked something they saw, or else you wouldn't be in there, right?
Right.
Yeah.
And so I had to realize that myself.
Yeah. And I kind of felt that way too, because when I was in Toronto, much smaller media contingent than obviously SummerSlam. But when I was in Toronto, we weren't really in a press box like we were in Cleveland. We were just like in the rafters along like one giant. So like, yeah, we were reacting to the wrestling, but there wasn't a lot of like at least you couldn't hear that there was a ton of cheering or things like that. So when I got to SummerSlam, I was like, oh yeah, he was asking, he was like, well, how do we, not how do we react, but like, is there like, what's the etiquette here?
What do I do?
And I'm just like, my hands.
Yeah. I'm like, first of all, I've been here for one extra event than you, so I'm right with you. In how And I was like, I'm pretty sure we just act like wrestling fans.
Can I talk shit to Dom Mysterio with that?
And then that was the big thing. That was the opening match, and Dom ended up turning and going with Liv, and the noise that came out of the press box when Dom kissed Liv was when, for me at SummerSlam, I was like, okay, so we can have we can really like react like if I was sitting in the crowd like down there.
That press box was unhinged and the loudest I'd ever been in the press box when Cody Rhodes. I'm sorry, not Cody Rhodes, but that whole sequence with The Rock coming out and Seth Rollins and people thinking it's Dean Ambrose. And it was just like the whole time that was just so loud. The Undertaker, like all of it. Yeah. And it really truly felt like, I think for a lot of us, the Attitude Era that we grew up with. Like stuff like that would happen all the time. And so it felt like that kind of throwback. Yeah. And the press box was so loud. And when Cody Rhodes won, it was insane. Even the most serious little media people were up on their feet, 100% cheering, and I'm just like, that's how it should be. That's how wrestling should feel. Do not, and I'm not going to name any names. Do not let anyone make you feel like you're not as good as them if you do media. There was a media group that I followed, and he happened to be at. I think it was SummerSlam. Last year. Or it might have been WrestleMania. I don't remember this year. But I had actually walked up to that person and said hi. And I was like, I really enjoy your work. I think you guys do a great job. And he looked at me and scoffed and walked off. And I was like, oh, okay. Like, I was just like, all right, I guess not. And my confidence took a hit a little bit because I was kind of like, okay, like clearly he doesn't see me as an equal. And I was like, and he has been doing a lot longer than me, but I was just like, I was kind of surprised. I actually posted about it on X. I just, again, didn't name any names. But I had a couple people reach out to me who are high up in the media realm, if you will, say that they also had the same interactions with this person. And so I was kind of like, oh, okay. So it's not just me. He's just got it. Yeah, and so
just a dick.
So it's just, he's just a dick. But either way, like, just don't let people ever make you feel that way. We all started from somewhere. We all aren't perfect. We all make mistakes. Our content's not always perfect.
Speak for yourself.
My content's not always perfect. I forgot. Pluggo's on it. Pluggo and his rice bowls are on it.
Yeah,
okay?
yeah, his Sour Patch Kid rice bowls.
Okay.
Man. Top of the top.
I do other stuff. I'm not just who I am. I'm not just a Stu TikToker. I do other things.
Sure.
But no, you're absolutely right. And Hoosier said he's sorry for the questions. Don't ever be sorry for a question as long as it's within, good standing and not something shitty. So you can ask all the questions you'd like. But yeah, exactly. Just that's why I always tell people, and I don't care what you think about me at the end of the day.
The people that matter to me are the people in this house.
Yeah.
Any other person's opinion is like water. If you enjoy it, great. If you don't, I really don't care. So
keep it moving.
Yeah, 100%.
I do that all the time on especially on my Facebook page when people are like, "This is the dumbest take of all time," and I'm like, "Thanks for stopping by." You didn't have.
Thanks for the view and the engagement. Appreciate
it.
Exactly.
Yeah, and Alexandra says being passionate is important when you make contact. People will connect with you more, and what you do if you are passionate. And I think that's what it is. If people know you're having fun, they're going to cling to you because they know.
Oh yeah.
You're having fun.
I don't know what just be robotic, just have fun with it, or be a robot. If you want to be a robot, make robot content. Do that if that's what you love.
Do it. Well, we are going to be diving in and talking a little Saturday nights.
Sorry.
No, you're good. Main event, but I did want your opinion on a few things that aren't on Saturday.
This is how you do it, JPJ. You keep serious. We're gonna robot, and I'm gonna mark this down as one of the best moments of 2024.
Yeah, that's all right. That's what I'm good with it. I'm good with it. Steph, I do need.
This is exactly what the vibe was like when we met.
100%.
This is
100%.
Why we got along.
100%. Right, that's why it's exactly why we got along, because we were just fucking around, having a good time.
When you start, and let's be honest, once you've had those moments, and then you also get emotional and misty-eyed at the Damian Priest 24 together.
Oh my god,
you're bonded. You're bonded.
We're all sitting next to each other, going.
I'm like Steph's in the middle, and I'm like looking to the side so she doesn't see me. I'm like, what? I'm like, oh, there's a bar back there. I'm like, these people can't see me fucking cry.
This place is huge.
No. But anyway, that's what I was doing. But anyway,
there's some dust in here.
Yeah, we're like, oh. I got something, as Jonah Hill in Superbad says. Oh, I got something in both my eyes. I got something in both my eyes.
Okay, sorry.
I got something in both my eyes. I do need your opinion, and I don't want to listen. I don't want to go there because I know it was heartbroken for all. I need your opinion on the New Day. I just how you feeling about the New Day stuff? Because I know they're not on Saturday night, but I want your opinion on
in kayfabe. I hope every piece of food that they eat has the hottest hot sauce on it every time.
Fair.
Fair.
I hope they always have a pebble in their shoe.
Yeah.
I hope they can never find the Scotch tape line when they're trying to wrap gifts.
Yeah.
Hope the remote batteries always run out. I hope
100%.
Xavier Woods gets stick drift on his little.
Oh, speak of the devil, we got Ella J popping in saying big pop for Stephanie.
Ella!
We love Ella.
Girl?
We love Ella.
Look.
Just kidding, but not kidding. Non-kayfabe, there is a tweet from me about 4 or 5 months ago saying I need something new for the New Day.
Mm-hmm.
It's what they needed.
Mm-hmm.
As much as I love them, it was running out, right?
Mm-hmm.
Like, one thing that people like Seth Rollins are great at is transforming, right? Mm-hmm. And becoming a new character or becoming a new level of character. And I felt like New Day had just been stuck at New Day. Like, they got rid of the pancakes, but I'm like, that doesn't. And they went to Bootios and they got rid of the Bootios, but I'm like, you're still New Day. And they have the trombone. They got rid of the I'm like, that's not exactly the same as leveling and evolving. Like, they need some layers to them now. And I feel like this gives them layers. I'm very curious to see where it goes, how it works. To hear Kofi booed is kind of insane.
Incredible, right?
I honestly never thought it would happen.
Yeah.
Xavier, I could see getting booed. Kofi, it actually was kind of crazy to see that. So I'm glad they made the right move. If you're going to do a heel turn, it has to be against someone that's absolutely beloved, right? And so them bringing in Big E just to do that and to really level these guys up as a heel from the bat was an amazing way to do this. So I'm excited to see what happens, how they do as heels. They were heels once before, people remember, as the New Day.
I like to forget.
Right after they debuted, the people didn't really like them, so they were bullying them, and they end up turning them heel. And it just then people were like, oh, okay, because I don't know if you remember that whole chant, New Day rocks, started off with New Day sucks.
New Day sucks, which they did on Monday night. They were chanting New Day sucks again.
Correct.
Yeah.
And so that's kind of how that was the last time they had been heel. So it's kind of, again, now that they've come this far as people, and their knowledge and their experience, I'm really excited to see what they do as heels. Kayfabe, F them.
Yeah,
kayfabe,
100%.
Excited to see how this goes.
Yeah, I mean, it was a perfectly done angle. Objectively speaking, it was just a perfectly done angle. But yes, kayfabe wide, boo, Kofi and
Big E did not deserve it, Dan.
Well, I was going to say, we boo Dan, who in the chat, he says, hashtag Big
Dan,
E deserved
what are
it.
you doing, sir?
Yeah, Dan. Last week we had Kimmy on, and she sided with
that hashtag doesn't even exist. You just made that up.
It's true. He did.
He's a trendsetter. He's hoping it takes off.
He's like, I'm about to start it.
Yeah. Like we just talked about 5 minutes ago, find your niche in the internet and then just run with it. Dan's hoping more
Dan's.
Well, we had our pal
Stephanie, you told me to go for it. I'm doing it. Now you're yelling at me.
We had our pal Kimmy on the show last week.
Kimmy!
And Kimmy was aligned with Kofi. She was aligned with Kofi and Xavier.
Oh, really?
She was.
Yeah. After that, I don't even think Kimmy played Topgolf after her New Day takes last week. I don't even think she was there.
Unbelievable. I couldn't believe it. I was like, wow. I did not expect that from her. But anyway.
Kimmy going hill as well.
That's
I hope when Kofi and Xavier play Topgolf,
Sean
they fall
Ross
into the
was
net.
right about her all along.
That's right.
Sure was. Ella's saying that those were Dominic level boos on Monday.
Dominic, do you think he got like a percentage of revenue for licensing out the booze?
Like if you take my booze, you owe me.
What does Dominic have if you take his booze? What's he got left? I mean, he's got Liv.
I think Dominic's going to be a massive.
Yeah, I mean, he has Liv.
2020. Yeah, that's true. I do think Dominic will be a massive babyface at some point in 2025. I do think.
So someone said, and as you guys know, I've kind of been in and out on the wrestling situation. Someone said, I think he was wrestling Gunther.
A couple weeks ago.
Someone said he was getting cheered.
He was. He was. He fought him on Raw, not this past Monday, but last week. And people were. Yeah, because he had the sequence where he hit the 619, he went up for the frog splash, and he got the close 2 count on Gunther, and some of the crowd, a segment of the crowd was like, oh, like they kind of wanted Dom to beat him. I think Dom will be a babyface at some point, not for a little bit, but I think I think there's money, because I think those boos that Dom used to get were get out of my face, I don't want to see you suck boos. And I feel like now, the boos that Dom gets are, we're still going to boo the shit out of you, but it's out of respect.
Yep.
Because you've gotten better. We've seen you get better. You're good. So I think
you have Liv on your arm.
Exactly. So I think once you start getting those boos,
you go from Rhea to Liv. Like,
turn.
It's hard to. It's like we don't like you, but respect, man.
Right, respect, man. I mean, you bagged Rhea, then you bagged Liv. Like, what's going on?
Yeah.
As a man who's outkicked his coverage with his wife, I respect it.
Yeah, I was gonna say, can you imagine being in a position where you leave Rhea Ripley? Come on, what are we doing?
Right.
What are we doing?
Are you crazy?
All right. So
we were so pissed at him though, Cleveland.
We were so mad.
That whole
what are we doing?
It erupted.
Right now?
It erupted. That whole press box.
But it also seems like, I know we're just getting off subject, but it also seems
like that's what we do here.
Literally what we do here.
It seems like Gunther's also kind of feeling a little
baby face
as well,
yes,
right?
That's Okay. Now I don't know.
Can we talk about what he wore on Monday night? By the way, was like a sweater and jeans.
Yeah, he looked good.
Yeah,
but that's not Gunther, bro.
He usually was. Yeah, but I think they're
black
trending.
Suit, black jacket.
Yeah, but instead he was like, "Hey, I'm your cool dad. Like, let's go."
Would you be my?
We can't have it.
Would you
Why
be-
couldn't he dress
Would
down? You can't have a
you
week where
He's
just shows-
Gunther. He's good.
My
He's not.
neighbor.
No,
Yeah.
no.
One thing I will say though, and the thing that I was happy
he
about
dresses well. He wrestles well. He's champion. That's how it works.
in the
You
match,
start dressing like that.
Gunta.
Now
in the
it's-
match.
Would you be my neighbor? Gunta.
Mr. Gunther.
Well, isn't one of the kids in Willy Wonka's name Gunta? Right?
I don't know.
The kid that gets sucked
What?
up the chocolate, and the Willy Wonka in the original Willy Wonka.
His name
movie?
was no.
Oh, was it
wasn't
Augustus? No,
Gunther.
Augustus. Is
Augustus.
it Augustus?
It was
Damn
Augustus.
it. I thought it was.
Nice try. It's okay.
Yeah, I tried. But I do think they are leaning towards Gunther potentially using a babyface thing.
Gunther, doopity doo. He's the world
Don't let him hear
champion.
that.
He's got.
Don't let him hear that. He's a friend. He's a friend. We interviewed him, and
That's true. That's true. That's true.
he told me that he's a big Linkin Park fan. That's what he said. He's a big
Now
Linkin
this
Park
will be
fan.
stuck in my head.
Gunther, world champion. He's going to Saturday night's main event to defend.
I feel like this is going way off the rails.
No,
It's
this is easy.
Welcome
This
to
is a
Between Two
cakewalk.
Beards.
This is a cakewalk compared to us. Sometimes we have whole shows and we don't even talk about what's on
My
the segment.
favorite story of all
Whole shows.
We spent like an hour and 15 minutes talking to somebody about geese. It was Warren Hayes. We talked to him about geese and everything under the sun.
Canadian geese.
And then somebody in the chat goes, "Your guys' like show head is like NXT, blah blah blah. You guys gonna talk NXT at all tonight?" And we're like,
We're
"Oh
like,
yeah,
we'll take
by the way,
the last 10 minutes, we'll run through this NXT card real quick. Sorry about that. What are you
chop
talking about?
Yeah.
you,
And put
chop
the NXT.
you, chop you.
Yeah.
Gunther will too. He will chop me."
Pluggo's not going to
And
stop.
you.
Pluggo's not going to stop. That's going to be there for. He's going to do that.
I'm gonna write that song, and you're gonna be
I
like,
know.
"Oh shit,
You need to get residuals.
It's true. That is
Gunther, Gunther,
So
champion." Okay, go.
we have Saturday night's main event this Saturday, and boy, oh boy, they loaded this one. This is a PLE basically.
There ain't no way
it
they're gonna
is.
get this done in 2 hours. There's no way.
Yeah, I worry about the 8 to 10, but I guess I don't know. But there are 5 matches on the card. One of them we don't know who will be in the match tomorrow night on SmackDown. There will be 2 semifinal matches. We'll talk about that match in a little bit. But there's 5 matches on the card. It should be quite excellent.
I think
So I would say
Start
I
there.
don't
Do
wanna-
we like this as a? Because they're gonna do more of these. Do we like this
we're
as
getting
like
one in a
a?
month. We're getting one like right before
Yeah,
Raw.
yeah,
I
Are we-
mean, they used to do it.
Yeah,
yeah.
I kind of like that they're doing this throwback type retro thing.
I am too.
I'm
And I-
like, if we're gonna do this, can we bring back halftime heat too? Like,
oh, remember
I
Halftime
mean-
Heat? the empty arena match.
Dude, I
the
love
empty
it.
arena matches, like
Hell yeah, bro.
insane.
Hell yeah.
Like,
You know how
but-
many Super Bowl parties I went to? They're like, "What are you doing?" I'm like, "I'm watching the halftime
Heat,
show.
bro.
I don't
I
care,
don't care
about.
about Tom. Like, no offense, but like, I don't care about Tom Petty.
Yeah.
I'm gonna watch Halftime Heat. Tom Petty rules.
uh.
Tom Petty rules. And Scott, you are right. The new lady singer for Linkin Park also rules. That is a true statement.
That's the most
Um,
random comment, but you're right.
Yeah, true. Well, I did say that Gunther told us that he loved Linkin Park.
We love
in
Linkin
our-
Park.
Oh,
in
did
our-
you say-
in our
I'm like,
interview-
that's the most random
In our
comment, but-
interview at SummerSlam, he told us that he loved Linkin Park.
Hmm.
So
oh, you
I
gotta
was
write
like,
him a song now, like in
I know.
German.
yeah, we can do the Gunta, but we can do it like in a Linkin Park tune.
In the Linkin Park tune.
Like in the end, maybe, but about Gunther and send it to him, and he'll never listen to it. But it'll
Those
be great.
chops, I
That'd be great.
cannot feel.
He'll be like, "What the hell is this?" They'll be like, "Oh, they're 2 beards guys," and then he'll be like, "I don't know what the hell you're talking about, man." I don't fucking
He was the
remember a thing
only
about that.
one that intimidated me. I
Oh, I
stood
was
there
shitting
and I
bricks. I was shitting
flubbed the
bricks.
beginning of our interview. I was just like,
Had a
"Sir."
nice smile. He shook my hand. He smiled. I was like, "Okay," but I
But
was sitting
then
next
when
to
the
him, and I
camera
was
turned
like,
on, he
"Oh,
went.
baby."
He was like, "He's like, oh, I can't grow a beard like you guys. Like, you can do whatever you want." Camera turned on. He went, "Yep." And we're like,
and we were like, "Oh, I'm scared."
That's
I'm
just
scared.
like Steve interviewed oh my god, the Australian guy.
Grayson Waller.
Dear Lord. Grayson Waller. Oh my god, I can't remember
Yeah.
that man's name.
Is that it? Is that it?
Well, he just kind of went away. I don't know where he is. Anyway, so he walked up and he's like, "Oh yeah, I like your shirt. Your shirt's stupid." Like he's like this completely nice person. And he's just like,
Yeah.
"Oh yeah, let's take a picture. Like, how's your kids? Like whatever." And then the camera turns on. He's like, "The fuck you wearing?" I was like,
exactly.
"Whoa!"
Yeah,
You're like, sorry.
He was like, you look like a, what did he call Steve? He said, you look like a toddler, like a rejected toddler or something. That's what he said. But I was just like, what just happened? You put the switch like that. I was like, oh, okay. Yeah. I was like, God. But
what happened?
It's not WWE.
Idea.
Yeah.
Oh, sorry.
No, you go.
No, I love the idea of bringing this back.
I
just hope they bring back some of the retro looks, the red, white, and blue ropes.
I think we're gonna get it. I think we're gonna get it. Jesse Ventura being back. I think it's gonna have an old school feel to it. I think
is the winged eagle championship in that crate?
It's there. It's coming.
Yeah, it's 100%. It's 100%. I don't want to talk about the main
what
event.
else would be shining gold in his face?
That's what I'm saying, right?
Stardust costume.
He's been. That's what people did say. That's what people did say. That's what people did say.
I didn't think about
I can't.
He mentioned Stardust on Friday.
I get it. I get it.
Why would he wouldn't bring that back? Why would he bring that back?
I cannot believe it. Against this match with Kevin Owens in a blood feud, he's going to come out dressed as Stardust.
Yes, I root for chaos.
Kevin Owens is going to tear that man apart. Yeah. On fight if he comes out as Stardust.
Well, could you imagine that? Could you imagine them? Okay, again,
like KO psyched up in the ring waiting, and he just sees Stardust. He's like, "Are you fucking kidding me?"
And he's like, "I don't know how to handle this." And
Kevin Owens comes out as Stardust.
That'd be incredible.
Yes.
All right, we might as well because we're talking about it already.
Just to like troll him and be like, "You're a piece of shit. Look what you came from." Like,
could you imagine how more pissed Kevin Owens would be if he lost to Stardust, though?
Oh my God, it'd be incredible. It'd be incredible.
That would
who said Kevin Owens is losing?
Well, and then that's again. I want to talk about it because I think that's a legitimate possibility. I really do. I do. I don't think
Cody.
I don't think it will happen.
Theodore Rhodes is dropping that title.
I know, but I feel like it won't happen. And I'm not convincing myself that it will happen. But I feel like it's the first Saturday night's main event in a long time. We're going to be doing it quarterly. It's NBC. It's a bigger, maybe old eyes coming back, new eyes. I think if you want to establish the show as being a show you must watch, Ella's saying she has KO winning. KO winning.
I think the title's going to change. I don't think it's going to be that one.
KO winning or winning the title?
Winning the title.
Okay, because he could win and not win the title. You know,
that's true.
Champion's advantage. Old Cody Rhodes.
But I think they're
on NBC, right? So they can't have blood and stuff. It has to be family friendly.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know.
I don't know
if Cody has the freaking winged eagle title. There's no way he's losing.
There are pictures out there of Kevin Owens back in the day holding that winged eagle title.
Oh, Ellis is winning the title. Scott's got him winning the title.
I think that, look, again,
really?
if you were to ask me right now, if I had to pick one, I'd probably still lean Cody. Maybe. But I think there is legitimate.
So we got
the KO winning. I do.
We got Ella in the chat, Scott in the chat. Dan's just waiting for us to talk about New Day again.
Steph.
Oh, no. What'd you do?
She comes back. I don't know, but we lost her. She'll pop back in.
Oh, no. Or the show was just too off the rails.
Sure we're good. No, we're good.
The show is too off the rails. She said,
there she is. I knew she popped
I'm leaving.
She's gonna be back.
I'm never coming back.
What just happened? Sorry.
No, you're good.
She goes, this was a mistake.
I pushed a button and I just disappeared off the screen.
She goes, this is the reason I've stopped podcasting. I can't believe I came back to this crap.
I've officially decided not to podcast ever again after going on.
It's true.
I don't know if that's like a point. I don't know if that'd be like a point of pride of like she decided never to do it ever again after our show. It was just, or should we reevaluate like what we do?
It was so great. I just felt
that's what Ella says. She heard my KO winning pitch and dipped. That's what Ella says. So Ella says that she has KO winning the title, and then she thinks they pivot to Cody and Randy.
Somebody please explain to me how KO wins this title. Because I can't. But okay. Is it going to be clean?
If Randy comes back.
Okay.
He turns on Cody because he blames Cody for what happened to him
and attacks both KO and Cody.
He could.
Okay.
He could. I don't know if they
turns into a triple threat at Royal Rumble.
Are we okay with that? Because I do think the Mania match for Cody should be Randy one-on-one. I feel like that's the best story that he has with the most history. I obviously could see why they would want a belt involved in that title feud, obviously, as well. But with their history,
taking off the roads,
and that's my thing. Yeah, that's my thing. Is I'm just like, are they really going to take it off Cody yet? But again, I think we become so accustomed to the long title. He has held it since WrestleMania. He's held it for 8 months. It's been a while.
I think the reason why, because when you think about, he did this, was it finishing the story thing, and I feel like he finished the story, but like, cool. Like, did we just take it off? I don't know, because you had Roman Reigns who had it for what, 4 years?
Yeah. So are we gonna do that again?
No, that's what I'm saying. I don't think they're gonna give him that kind of long reign. I think they're gonna do a Mania to Mania reign. I think.
Yeah.
It would be awesome to see Randy Orton win his 13th. Is it 13th? 16th.
16th. He would tie Cena.
16th. To win his 16th world title. Especially since he keeps getting injuries. Eventually, he's gonna have to. So if they really want to put it on him,
that was correct.
It needs to be soon.
Could you imagine a John Cena Randy Orton for the title just from John Cena's last year? That'd be kind of fun.
I forgot about him too. Like John Cena is, coming back. So
I agree with Ella. She says that she thinks we get KO. We get Rhodes and Randy at Mania, and we get KO and Sammy at Mania as well, which I agree, because they did that tease with KO in the car where he said Sami Zayn. Oh, we getting a visitor? We getting a run-in? Right now? Heck yeah.
What's up?
Who's coming in? Who's running in?
Do you want to say hi? Come here.
Come on in.
We have Little Hypes here.
Oh, Little Hypes.
Little Hypes.
Yeah.
Hey!
What's
say
up?
Hi.
Hi. What's up? How we doing?
So, how are you?
How are you?
How are you?
No, say, how are you?
How are you?
Are you good?
Are you good?
Yeah.
Yeah.
We're good too.
KO or Cody Rhodes?
Yeah, KO or Cody Rhodes.
KO or Cody Rhodes? Who's winning?
KO.
KO. Oh my God.
It's happening. It's happening. It's happening.
You agree with Ella? KO's gonna win?
That's what's happening. Yep, he knows. They know.
You know who he likes? He loves watching Axiom.
Oh, Axiom.
Can I tell you this?
Axiom.
We want Little Hypes.
Hashtag we want Little Hypes.
Cena.
Yeah, you like Cena?
Cena.
Yeah, Cena's coming back
You
soon.
like Cena, huh?
Cena's coming back soon.
Yeah.
Who?
Cena.
Cena. Yeah, I know you like Cena.
Yeah, it's that Cena.
Yeah, John Cena can't see him. Can't
say
see
never give up.
I'm gonna get up.
Never give up.
Right,
Hustle, loyalty, respect.
That's right.
Hustle, loyalty, respect.
So
you realize that now what's happening is now Owen's going to see this and he's going to start running in again.
That's fair.
Correct.
Yeah.
All right. Go get Dada.
Yeah. Have
fun. See you later, little man.
Good job. Nice pick.
Are you
well, now I have to pick KO.
Well,
can't go against the Little Hypes. I gotta go.
The kid's over, man. The crowd in the chat is saying kid's over.
Smart chat.
Kid's over. He's over.
Well, go. You can go sit on the bed. Go sit on the bed.
You come in and make some more picks. We don't care.
Yeah, I mean, we're good. You can take the picks for the night if you want to hang. Yeah, I'm good with
But
it.
this is his thing. So, like, at the end of the night, or like close to his bedtime, he likes to get into my bed and just like chills.
Yep.
Just chills with his tablet. Just good
it.
to go. So he was coming
taking up all the space.
He was correct. King bed. He's like right in the middle.
I don't understand why I bought a house with extra rooms. They all just end up in mine. I could have just did a 1-bedroom thing, saved me a bunch of money.
It's true.
No, like seriously.
It's true.
It's like
right, sit down.
Oh. Yeah, she's
okay.
Heck yeah.
He wants to play in the background, I guess.
That's fine.
Oh, he's turning off the lights though. Oh wow.
Now it's a party.
Now he's being a trickster. Now he's being a little trickster.
This is having little boys. No, but I get the KO thing.
Yeah.
Wait, what that comment say?
So Pluggo has like 9 Christmas trees. So
nice.
So this is our boss, Spencer. He says the extra rooms are for the Christmas trees, Pluggo. You have 11 of them. What else is the extra room there for? So hi, Spencer. Hi, bud.
Every room in the house has its own Christmas tree. That is a fact. That is true.
When we first started the show, he had 4.
Now we have
4 Christmas trees, and I was losing my mind at 4. Now he has more than double that, and I'm like, listen, come on, whatever makes you happy, but that's a lot of Christmas.
Whatever makes
my kids frowned at me because we just got a new Christmas tree this year, And so we still have the old one in the garage. And I was like, well, what if I just put it in our room?
That's
And they're like, what do you need a Christmas tree in your room for? And I'm like, I don't know. This is a Christmas tree. Why not? And like they all frowned at me like I was crazy. But now you said you have all these trees. Now I'm gonna go get the tree and put it in my room.
There you go.
Yeah, listen, if you need, I'll call Mrs. Pluggo down here to give you a stamp of approval to do what you want to do, because that's how it started. She's like, oh, and I was like, well, what are we going to do with this tree if you buy this tree? And she's like, we need one in our room. And then we put one in our room, and then the boys were like, well, I want one in my room. And then they got one in their room, and then our dining room got one. And I always tell everybody that asks, if you've seen Mrs. Pluggo, I am in no position to tell that woman no. She can have whatever she wants, whenever she wants. And I just say, I smile and say, yeah, honey.
Nice try.
What do you mean?
If I was like, babe, we're putting the Christmas tree up in our room, he'd probably be like, all right, just let me know when it needs to get up there.
No,
right.
exactly. She'll go, honey, can you help me bring this upstairs? And I'm like, what are we doing? And she's like, well, put a tree up there. And I go, okay.
Yeah, Hooters asking
See,
how much money.
This is how it goes for me.
Yeah.
Babe, I want to put the Christmas tree up. Can you bring it up?
I will say, I will.
No, I don't know. I'll do it later. And I'm like, okay, it's fine. I'll just do it myself. Then I go to do it myself. He's like, what are you doing? Don't do that. You're going to get hurt.
I got it.
You should have seen the night that she got into this mode of like she wanted to reorganize. Like she likes to change things up. So I'll leave for the day and I'll come home if she's off, and sometimes the house is in a whole different configuration. But there was one night I'm watching NXT, like a pay-per-view, and it was a good one. I can't remember. She's like, can you help me move this table and stuff downstairs? And I was like, in between matches, I'm busy. God, okay, fine. But you do it. And who's just asking how much debt I'm in? I will say this.
How much debt am I in?
Yeah, how deep?
I'm in a lot of.
How much is your light bill right now?
Yeah.
Listen,
honestly.
if Mrs. I will say I have plenty of things I can sell off if we ever decide to. But no, Mrs. Pluggo never gets anything at full price. She retails for suckers. She always gets a steal. One or two of those trees was actually
coupons.
Yeah, we're like half off or gifted to us, and yeah, she's like, she knows what she's doing. I don't know why she's with me.
It's fair. Ella, thousands.
How much
do you owe Spencer too?
Thousands.
What do you mean? I don't know. What are you talking about, Spencer? We've never spent a dime of Spencer's.
No, it doesn't say CEO of blowing budgets under your name there for nothing, you know?
Well, we did it again tonight. Wait till Stephanie gets the Spencer gets Stephanie's invoice.
Yeah, it's true. It's true.
You thought that winged eagle was expensive.
I don't send invoices. I just send wish lists.
There we go.
All right, Spencer, we need you to fill that Amazon wish list, please.
Well, damn. All right. So Drew McIntyre.
All right. So all you have KO winning.
Oh,
and
yes.
No, I had Cody.
Yes.
Okay.
But your son has convinced me otherwise. See,
yeah, I'm officially picking KO. I'm siding with Ella and Little Hypes. That's what I'm doing. I'm siding with Ella. We got Dan.
I'll be honest. Scott. If he wins, I would be shocked. Legitimately shocked.
Isn't it a crime though that it's been so long and he never won the world title besides that first one with the Universal? He's so good.
Don't get me wrong. I would not be upset. I would just be shocked because I know Cody is like the guy. Like he's such a company guy. And not that he necessarily needs the title to be the company guy, but I would just be shocked, to be honest. I guess it all depends on what they plan on doing at Mania. So,
and I guess that's the thing. And like when you throw out the triple threat match for Royal Rumble, maybe that's how they do it. Maybe Randy does get involved on Saturday and it ends up with KO sneaking a victory and he's the champ. And then they have the triple threat at the Rumble and either Randy or Cody win it from KO. Yeah. And then you lead into one of them winning the Elimination Chamber or something along those lines to get to, I don't know, but I feel like again, I'm picking KO.
Are we just assuming The Rock is not coming
on Saturday?
No, on for WrestleMania.
Well, I think it'll be Rock and Roman if it's at Mania.
See, I thought Rock was coming after Cody.
The last time we heard him speak, that's what with the promo with Cody. Yeah. That's what he did.
I'm
say.
still trying to figure out what he handed back. Remember, he handed some back to Cody, like some secret thing he handed back to him, and I'm like, can we follow up, please? Let's still want to know what the gadget was.
Yeah, they got really intricate towards the end, and then Rock was like deuces, and we're like, wait, what?
He was like, all right, Moana 2, bye. I was
bye.
like, oh.
And now they're doing a live action one on top of that too. So like they had Moana 2, which I didn't even know was happening. And they had Moana 2, and then he's doing the live. It's like, all right, man.
Grow up.
He just had the Christmas. He had the Christmas action movie that just came out with.
How do you not know that Moana 2?
Grow up.
I didn't know it was coming out. I knew they were doing it. I didn't know it was coming out. So I saw the preview and I was like, next week.
Way to be a mature adult and not know what. Yeah.
I had no idea. Dan cracking a joke. He says, The Rock handed Cody the deed to the XFL. Why do you think Cody looks so sad? That's funny.
Dan's a comedian.
No. In real life, he actually is. Like, he is a stand-up.
Oh, is he?
Yes. He's been on the show before. He is literally a stand-up comedian. That is his profession. That is his profession.
Funny.
Yeah, he's a good one.
Nice.
He's a good one.
If we could afford Dan, we would just have him do his own show.
Yeah, 100%. But he is a diehard wrestling fan and literally a stand-up comedian. He's actually in PLUGGO's neck of the woods this weekend. But yes. Nice. All right. Well, we already talked about it. So are you two officially picking Cody to retain?
Yes.
Yeah, right?
You're all full of these pipe dreams. Cody Rhodes keeping it.
Yeah. All right. That's fair. I'm going to go with KO because usually Pluggo's the one that likes chaos, but I'll dive in with that. Well,
you wait.
Yeah, I know. Drew McIntyre has returned over the last couple weeks. He attacked Sami Zayn at the end of Raw. He attacked Jey Uso as well on that same show. We saw him cut a promo on Monday in a vignette, which I thought was really.
Wait, didn't Sami attack Drew at the end of Raw? Did he go after
Sami?
No, Drew hit him with a Claymore after Sami fought Seth.
Oh, that was last week.
And Seth left.
Oh, this
week. I'm sorry. I was thinking, you're right.
Yeah.
Okay.
I will say, though, about Drew's promo, and we talked about it a little bit before you hopped on, Steph, but Drew McIntyre in his promo on Monday was speaking straight facts. He was saying Sami, he's like, the Usos are, we've heard it from a few people, Seth as well, but the Usos are family. Even Drew McIntyre, who hates CM Punk, was like, at least CM Punk took a bribe to go tag with Roman. But what about you, Sami? Literally, you just tucked your tail between your legs and just ran back to Daddy Roman, even though he's never apologized. He hasn't changed who he was.
He hasn't apologized to anybody.
Anybody. He has
them.
Not grown at all. He is the same person that he was. And these guys are just running back to him to help him at every beck and call. And, and Drew McIntyre and Seth Rollins are the only two people that are speaking facts and truth over there when it comes to that.
Well, my thing is that, to your point, he never apologized. Everyone's like, oh, he's a good guy now. I'm like, Seth who?
Yeah.
I was like, he's not acting any differently. Maybe we've gotten a smile here and there, whatever. But I'm like,
there's been no growth.
He hasn't really done anything. He hasn't ever addressed the way he attacked them or any of the other stuff. So I'm just I think people are making a lot of assumptions. They're gonna be quite shocked when he turns it right back on. All he's trying to do is get back to his gold, right?
And that's what it is.
Once he gets there, then what?
Exactly. So this was the last match added to this show. It is Sami Zayn versus Drew McIntyre 1-on-1. This was made official this past Monday on Raw. This should be a very, very good one. I love both these gentlemen. I think for me, though, it's Drew. I agree with Ella. I think it's Drew. I think Drew gets the win.
This is a family show saying Drew fucked the world. Come on. Just kidding. She meant for the win.
That was all right. That was pretty
good. There's kids in the room. I forgot. My bad. My bad.
Yeah, little hypes. Right. Don't be swearing.
Little hypes.
That's true. I can't have little hypes. They're not like little.
He just repeated you. I'm just kidding.
Wow. Pluggo, you got to go to timeout. Brother. All right, me and Steph will
listen. That's a real problem in this household because I'm a wrestling content creator or whatever you want to call me. That it's on all the time, and Owen has a tendency to watch it. So it's oh man, maybe I should have picked up a physics book or something. He loves it.
Look, I learned the middle finger. I learned the suck it. Yeah. I learned all sorts of things from wrestling.
Yeah.
So why not our kids?
Sure. I went to Catholic school, and I went to Catholic school 1st through 8th grade, and at Recess, man, I can't tell you how many suckets and how many Stone Cold lines and all these things we were doing in front of the nuns, and they were looking at us like, "What the fuck is wrong with?"
I cannot wait for the day I get a message from my school's or my kid's teacher going, "So little Johnny broke his neck," and Owen went, "So what?
So what?
Can you please explain this?"
So what? Anyway.
Oh no, your best friend just broke their toes.
So what?
Suck it up.
Look it up.
What?
I still showed up to work. Anyway.
He stole a kid's bracelet. And
no, he didn't. Did he really? Oh no, that's Drew McIntyre. I get it. All right. I was late on that one. That's on me. That's on me. I was late on that one. All right.
Like he did.
Yeah. I was like, wait a minute, really?
Stole a kid's bracelet.
I was like, you have a little deviant as a child? I want to know this.
I do.
But yeah, Sami Zayn, Drew McIntyre. How you feeling about this one, Steph?
I mean, it's going to be a great match, right? Given. Is Drew going? I think Drew's on the path of attacking everyone who teamed with Roman. I think.
Correct.
So I think in order for this to work, Drew needs to win.
Mm-hmm.
So I think Drew will be winning. It'll be a great match. I don't know because do we know who attacked Jay?
Where is
Drew said he did, right?
Drew said he did. Yeah.
So Jay's absolutely getting involved.
I would assume Jay will.
I think Jay's going to show up. Mm-hmm. But I think Drew somehow still gets the W, whether it's hitting him with a chair or whatever it might be. So
yeah,
I think Drew gets the W. I'm interested to see where the story goes because one thing they had struggled with in the past is like some of these top guys, if they're not in the title picture, what do you do with them? Mm-hmm. So luckily, I do believe Triple H has a path and a story for him without the title. So it'll be very interesting to see how this goes. But my guess is he's going to go after everyone who teamed with Roman, which will ultimately probably land him right back in front of CM Punk.
Yeah, most likely, you think. Well, there is rumor though that the OG Bloodline will be moving over to Raw once they're on Netflix. So we could get Drew and Roman.
Period. The transition.
The transfer window.
I'm like, what? I'm like, it sounds like something out of Pokemon. But or Yu-Gi-Oh.
Yeah.
Did you watch Yu-Gi-Oh?
I've dabbled. I've dabbled.
A bit. Yeah, no, but that should be very interesting because I can kind of change my whole idea on all these things, because I think the transfer portal, whatever you just called it, starts next week, right?
It's already kind of started. Because they're like showing people, they're showing people backstage from other shows talking to the GMs and stuff. And Chad Gable was on SmackDown last week, so I think it might have already started. But
they're doing the whole like you don't know who's going.
You don't know, right?
Cody was there,
and NXT is part of it too. So,
well, the reason why I'm bringing it up is because that could also be a big reason why titles change and a lot of things on Saturday.
Yeah.
That we're kind of going what, and it could be because some people are going to be transferred around to other things, and I don't know. It leaves a lot for excitement and kind of hard to predict some of these things because they could be completely changing a lot of storylines and mixing it up a little bit. So we will see. But I think in this one, Drew does get the win because I think his revenge tour, now it's the Drew Revenge Tour.
Yeah, exactly.
Is just starting. So
yeah, that would suck to come back and take a loss after taking losses to see him.
I know.
So
the same reason why Shinsuke could not lose, because I'm like, you can't come back as this badass, creepy Shredder looking character and have him lose. So I told people, I'm like, that'd be so stupid. So I'm so glad that he won.
JPJ said about the same thing.
I was very adamant. I was like, if he loses this match, he might as well just never be on TV ever again because it does not matter.
I mean, like, basically.
That's where I was at. I was like, I love the guy, but he's like 0 for his last 8 in title opportunities. Like, if this isn't the one on a mid-card title, then it's never going to happen. Not just a
mid-card title, but on a new character with a new feel, new
entrance, like, all this stuff.
All these things. I'm like, you can't come back as a badass character, if you will, and lose.
Correct.
And that's something Vince used to do all the time that pissed me off. I'm like, you can't introduce this really cool new look, fresh, whatever, and then just have them lose.
Yeah.
And honestly, Triple H has done it too. That Giovanni Vinci situation.
Yeah, what's
I was
that
like,
about?
what just happened?
Yeah.
Like he lost in seconds. I'm like, they're like, Giovanni Vinci's coming. Like I'm like, okay, like
he's coming and he's going.
Yeah,
and
immediately.
he's going.
Hey, where's that dude been? Where's that dude been? I got Drew.
You got Drew as well?
I got Drew, and I
Sweet.
think again, like y'all said, I can't imagine they would do all this to just have him take an L right away because that loses all the momentum.
I would agree. All right, so tomorrow night on SmackDown, we do have two semifinal matchups in the Women's United States Championship Tournament. On one side of the bracket, we have Bayley going up against Chelsea Green. And on the other side of the bracket, we have Michin.
Yeah, I wasn't going to try to do that.
going against Tiffany Stratton. And then the winners of those two matches tomorrow will be in one of the matches on Saturday to crown the first ever Women's United States champion. So Steph, you can lead again. Who do you think are winning the two matches tomorrow night? Who do you got in the finals? And who do you think's winning this title for the first? Who's going to be the inaugural champion?
I have one that I want because I believe she deserves it, and I have the other one who there's three. There's one I really want to win it because I believe she deserves it. There's another one I feel like would just be a great person to book with it, and the other one would be a great person to hold it and carry it for the very first time because of their experience and legendary status. So I think Bayley would be amazing just because of her legendary status, right? A good way to establish a brand new title and put some girls over in the interim. However, Bayley's won a lot. She doesn't need to win it. I just think it'd be great. Kind of the way they had Seth Rollins win the very first one of that title to really just establish it as a workhorse big title, right? Chelsea Green would be so much fun to book with that title. She is one of the best characters. Her character work is amazing. She's just so much fun. And I just think she'd be so obnoxious if she actually won the title. And like to make it even feel like it was like by accident, like the way they book it, like she like kind of ends up pinning her, but like being shocked, like what? Like because she slipped or whatever it might be. Just to like give it that much more funny, if you will. The one person I really feel like needs to win it and should is Michin. She has been grinding for years, especially this year. I think she's really just shown brightly. This is the best she's looked. I think the strongest that she's looked. And she's proven that she's a workhorse. She was literally going from NXT to SmackDown in two different storylines, 4 months. And that's kind of the person you really want to put this kind of title on. And frankly, she hasn't won a title yet. So I really would love for this to be her first one. Her be the inaugural champion. So with all of that being said, I hope the finals are Michin versus Chelsea.
Oh, yeah. That's what Ella has as well. She has Chelsea and Michin in the finals.
There you go. And I hope Michin ultimately is the one that wins on Saturday Night Main Event.
I like it. I understand. Look, at Bayley is my goat. I love Bayley. She's my favorite of all of them, and she would be a great first champion to establish that belt 100% with her legacy and who she is. But I look at both these mid-card titles, and these should be used to elevate somebody to a different level. And do I think Bayley would be a great champion? Of course she would be, because she's great at everything. But I think it would do a big favor to either Michin or Chelsea. Tiffany's got a briefcase. She don't need to be the first U.S. champion because we know where she's probably heading.
And I'm sorry, not mention Tiffany because you guys know how much I love her. But her story and her trajectory is completely somewhere else. So that's why I don't even put her in this contingency for this. I think she's right where she's supposed to be in the Final Four. Just to say she's that girl, right? But I think ultimately Michin will get the win either because Nia accidentally does something or whatever it might be. And I think Michin will move on. But Tiffany's amazing. So I didn't mention her, but that's just because You can tell
Yeah.
her story is just elsewhere right now. So
Yeah.
Yeah, we're gonna edit that completely different, so it sounds like we're just talking on Tiffany. Just kidding.
plug
but-
in the Tiffany part, and then
So yeah,
I completely skipped over her. Sorry.
no, you're good. But I think you did. I think we are because again, like I agree with you. I think she made her point. She won her first round matchup. She's in the final four, so like she's continuing to be a legit contender for big time deals. But she has the Money in the Bank briefcase. Her story is revolving around the world title on SmackDown. I just assume that she doesn't need to be involved in the finals or win this tournament. I feel like the other three are the clear choices. But I agree with you. I think I wouldn't be shocked if Bayley wins, but I think it is going to be Chelsea Green and Michin. I have Chelsea Green winning, though, although I do think it would be equally as good for her character if she were to lose as well. I think she makes either way work. But my official pick would be
love
Chelsea
it because she's gotten close so many times.
Yeah.
And she ends up losing.
Yeah.
Because I think if she loses, which I think she will, but it's her in the finals. I think if she loses, it really adds to that eventual babyface character that she will become, that she's always kind of made it really close and just never gotten over the mountaintop. So when it does happen, I feel like it'll be a big deal.
Yeah.
And it does just add more layers to her hilarious, obnoxious character if she wins, right?
Sure does.
Then everyone's cheating and all these things, but it also tells you what they think of her, status wise, if she makes it to the final two.
Yeah. Well, Ella just popped this in the chat. She just said, guys, I just had an intrusive thought. What if Chelsea wins, but then Tiffany cashes in right after?
What is she, Austin Theory?
Tiffany's waiting for that world title.
Yeah, she's got. I mean, I've heard that too, but I'm like,
I get it.
That would be something I would not want to happen because I don't think anything good came out of that Austin Theory thing, and I think you'd just be doing the same thing. But it could happen. I mean, it's a good thought to have because it could happen. I wanted her to.
I think most people would be pissed that Tiffany wasted her cash in on a mid card title.
That's fair.
I'm sorry. I hate to use the word wasted, but I do think they see Tiffany at a world title level.
I agree.
And so that's the only reason why.
Yeah. PLUGGO.
I got Chelsea. I got Tiffany making it to the finals and Nia somehow screwing her over, and that's where we get this babyface turn for Tiffany. That's how I feel.
Okay.
But I got Chelsea ultimately. I don't know how.
I
don't know how she
Chelsea
beats Bayley.
Tiffany?
I've got Chelsea versus Tiffany. Yeah.
I don't know how by using Piper. Piper's out on the side. She can maybe hold Bayley's ankle.
Some stuff is going to happen. It's going to get.
I do think there are going to be some major moments that happen in this show, just because I'm trying to think of what they could be. Like, could we see if Tiffany does make it to the finals? And you say Nia screws her, could we see Tiffany cashing in at Saturday night's main event and becoming the new women's champ? That'd be a big deal on the show.
Look at how crazy we are! Broadcast TV. Watch all this.
I don't know.
That's how you hook them. You just do all the
I'm like, you have to hook them, right? It's going to be on cable for the first 100%. Time in God knows how long, right?
Yep.
So, and people are going to be like, wrestling? What?
Yeah,
like, especially the people who were like, maybe were aware wrestling was still on, but really haven't watched. They're going to be like, huh, okay, what's this about?
Yeah, exactly.
You have to do something to hook them. So, I do think there will be some pretty big moments happening. The title change that I predicted was actually going to be Gunther's. But,
okay. Well, that was the next match I was going to talk about, so that's perfect. That's a perfect segue.
The way I segued and didn't even know.
Incredible, really. It is now a triple
threat match. It's like you're a pro.
I know. It is now a triple threat match as they added Damian Priest to this match on Monday.
Damian!
Yep. So now it is Gunther versus Finn Balor versus Damian Priest. I think this match is going to be very good.
I think we don't need Damian Priest here as much as I love him, right? I was kind of excited for Finn and Gunther.
I think Damian Priest being added to this match, I think is going to have I think Finn Balor might leave as the champ. I think Finn Balor could leave as the champ. I don't know. But you said this is the one that you think is going to change hands. So where is your mind at, Stephanie, before I let PLUGGO dissect this thing?
You both made points that support my theory. One, I do believe Finn Balor is winning. Two, As Pluggo said, Damian Priest is not needed in this. You want to see Finn Balor versus Gunther? You will get Finn Balor versus Gunther after Finn takes that title off of him. Because then Gunther is going to say, especially if he ends up pinning Damian
Priest, yeah.
Gunther's going to say, I didn't lose my title, right?
Yeah.
You didn't pin me. Then you get Finn Balor versus Gunther at Royal Rumble.
Plus, there's the triple threat element. There's no DQ,
which means Judgment Day can.
It's got some buddies.
Make their presence felt.
Granted, Ludwig could come out. Rhea's probably going to come out, but I mean,
let me just use this as my 10 seconds of just appreciating Ludwig because he's absolutely amazing. And I think he's one of the best characters and best wrestlers on the TV program right now. And I need everyone to go follow him and love him and appreciate him. Thank you.
Yeah, he's great. He's got everything you want. He's got obviously
going to be a fucking star.
Yeah,
like the way he
everything you want.
Just go watch him. Just go to a live event and watch him. Okay. From his entrance to him getting in the ring, the way he has this stance that he does. I can't even do it. He does this little stance that's like so Ludwig of him. And I'm like, but he does it so nonchalantly. And it's like he arches his back and he's just like, I cannot explain it, guys. It sounds so stupid coming out of my mouth. I'm not explaining it properly, but
we get it.
He's so, like, he has all the little details down.
Yeah.
And that is an amazing, so people always ask me why I'm such a big Becky Lynch fan, because she is big on details. She's down to what she wears, to how it's something I appreciate about her and her artistic style in wrestling. Ludwig has it. He's incredible. I know, again, we're not talking about him, but you mentioned him, and so now I have to go on my rant. I need everyone to really just go watch him and just appreciate him. Thank you.
He's excellent. He's excellent. Pluggo, are you in agreement? Do you think Finn's where are you at? Are you thinking title change, or you think Gunther keeps it for a little? Do you think Gunther
I don't know, man. Well, now that they've added the Damian factor to it, like Stephanie said, it makes it easier now to make the transition. I just when they did that, they threw everything off, like, because I want to see Finn Balor, Gunther. I want to see this Finn that they're trying to build back up into, who was the first Universal Champion and just a badass. But yeah, as I see some shenanigans, I can see. I'll go Finn, and then I see Hoosier saying and becomes a double champ. I think the Finn Balor character arc, if he were to win on Saturday.
Oh, they're losing the tag titles next Monday.
But I also think he's going to do it. I think he's going to.
Sorry.
No, I just think he's going to do it in a way where he goes, I got the championship. I don't need you guys anymore. And he's not even going to show up to that tag match.
Oh,
that's how I feel. If they pull the trigger with Finn on Saturday, that would make sense to me. Because he's too rally the troops right now.
That was my guess, or he's just going to vacate his and just say, I'm done.
Could he free burn it and give it to Carlito?
I'm too
or
good
something?
For this now. Yeah. Or try and give it to Carlito and just be like, you guys are the tag champs now. Yeah, or something, and then have like Adam Pearce say, you can't do that. You have to defend them, or Carlito and Big Head have to defend them, like whatever.
You have to file something about a free bird rule, and Carlito's not.
Or you have Big Head out there defending it 2-on-1.
Yeah.
And then Ivar Nation, get up.
I was gonna say, Ivar's my dude. He's from the Massachusetts area. Like, he's local to me. I've watched that guy for a long time. He is the best. Warbeard Hansen was how I knew him back in the day, but it's Ivar now.
Ivar should not be able to move the way he moves. Okay,
100%.
That's a big dude.
Yeah,
just like Keith Lee. This is a big dude that can move, and I'm just like
Bronson Reed to an extent too. Bronson Reed is a guy that does stuff. You're just like, holy crap, man! Nobody that size should be able to do those type of things. All right, so we all are in agreement with Finn for that triple threat, and obviously we talked about what we assume will be the main event with Cody and KO already. So the last match we need to talk about is for the Women's World Championship, and it is the champion. I know. Liv Morgan defending against Io Sky. I agree with that. I would love Io to get a victory here. However, it ain't happening. I think this is the match I can bet on the most and feel the most confident that Liv will retain.
Liv needs to drop the title. I'm so over it.
All right, fair enough.
However,
you think they're going to stretch the Rhea stuff out all the way to Mania?
Unfortunately, yes. I think that as long as this has gone on, it's the only thing that makes sense is to have this end at Mania. But I'm personally just over it. I think I've been over it for a while. But I mean, if you really want to shock people, put it on Io. They even did kind of that teaser with Io and Rhea both kind of holding the title.
That was awesome.
And everyone was like, hell yeah, like that needs to be the WrestleMania match, right? But Liv, while I'm not a big fan of the storyline, I think Liv has done great with what she's been given. She's really held it together, again, given what they've been given. And so she deserves to kind of end her tale, if you will, at Mania. So I think she'll hold on to it. Obviously, she has Raquel in her corner. I mean, Io does have damage control. So I don't know. It could go a lot of ways here. So we will see. Yeah.
PLUGGO, how you feeling? You think Liv is keeping it?
Why does Dan want Poppy to play live at Saturday Night's Main Event?
That'd be awesome. Did you see all the backlash that she performed on Jimmy Kimmel with Knocked Loose, that song? Yeah. And everyone was like, they should have put a warning up there. They were screaming.
Yeah, no, for sure. It's like just turn the channels. It's
relax. Yeah, you can literally just hit channel up.
I love Io Sky. She's fantastic. I don't think she's winning here. I think, though, that tease at the end with Rhea said at the presser at the last PLE that she was going to stay out of the way. And then they had that little struggle at the end of Monday with the belt. I don't know if Rhea's going to stay out. I don't think she's going to screw over Io Sky. I think she's going to inadvertently try to get involved with Raquel coming out. I think there's going to be some stuff. But I ultimately, at the end of the day, I think Liv is going to get out of this one. And then Io's going to, end up doing whatever she does, unfortunately. They should do more with her again. I missed her title run. I thought her title run was really good.
She was great. Oh,
and then she lost. Was awesome. Yeah, and then she loses it to Bailey, and we don't ever talk about it ever again. Like get her in that mix again. So I'd be down for it.
They really kept her relevant. So what they used to do, especially with Asuka, she dropped the title and you just wouldn't see her for months on end, and you're like, where did Asuka go? I really appreciate that. Even though Io dropped the title, she's had matches, she's had feuds, she's been in the ring, she's on promo, she's pretty much in every show. And they've kept her relevant, if you will. So it's not this big, is she ready for a title match? Is she really a contender? Because she has been relevant and they've kept her in contention. So I don't think this is going to happen right now. Here's the really cool thing. So we all know the history with Io, Rhea, Bianca, right? In that group. So we have a lot of history feuds to come. And so I think that's what most people were reacting to when you saw Io and Rhea kind of staring at each other, because that is truly a future WrestleMania match. Do I think it's this WrestleMania? No. But, Rhea versus Bianca is also another one that will be coming down the pipeline eventually. So we have a lot of great things to look forward to. Women who have history together with each other. So I don't think it's going to be it this time. Liv's going to get the W. But to your point, there will be some shenanigans. The one cool thing about this, too, is that last time Saturday Night Main Event was on, women weren't getting this kind of spotlight. So I think it's really a great opportunity to showcase your women's wrestlers on cable TV in front of an audience that maybe hasn't watched wrestling in a very long time. And they're kind of curious to go, hey, last time I watched, they were doing bikini matches, right? So I just think this is a really cool, especially you put someone like Io.
If people like lapsed wrestling fans or just new people turn on and they see Io, they are gonna fall in love with that woman. They are gonna be like, who is this person? This psycho in the ring who's just doing this crazy, awesome stuff. Like
the genius of the sky.
And I hope they just cut to the clip. I want them to just cut to the clip of War Games with her in the trash can jumping. I just want them to show it for absolutely no reason whatsoever, just so people are aware this is how crazy this woman is.
You mentioned the women, and we talked about it for a few seconds before you popped on. We've had 4 major wrestling shows since Saturday this week. We've had NXT Deadline, we had Monday Night Raw, we had NXT, and we had AEW Dynamite last night. And this week, all 4 of those events were main evented by the women, right in a row.
Love to see it.
And you love to see it. the more things like that happen, the more that becomes the norm where we don't have to point that out. But
Yeah.
that's just awesome shit. That's just awesome shit. I was watching it last night on Dynamite, and I was like, you know what? The women have main evented every show on television this week. Every show, including
it's what
Yeah.
so many of us women wrestling fans, not just women, but women's wrestling fans, male or
Yep.
female. It's just what a lot of us have been clamoring for so long. It's just to give them the chance, show what they got. They're just as good to main event as anybody else, especially if the story is there and it makes sense. Do it. And so it's been awesome to see across all brands, even TNA, like just constantly letting the main event and them earning the main event, not just getting it, but earning it. Obviously Cody Rhodes and KO are probably main eventing this one. My guess would be Drew and Sammy open. Would be my guess.
I think that's
you
a good
need
one.
something to kind of capture people.
Yeah.
I can see the triple threat opening too.
I was thinking either the triple threat or Sammy and Drew. The triple threat, I think.
Or maybe do you crown the new champion to start the show?
Maybe you do.
Maybe that's the first thing we see.
Triple threat.
They crown the new champ. Maybe
because it's not like it used to be where the opening match was like a bad spot to be. The opening match is just as important as the main event, in my opinion. Because I'm like, you need to get me. If I obviously we are not what I'm talking about here because we'll watch regardless, but you need to get that fan like hyped up and into it. So if you have a banger first match, they're likely to stay longer.
Bubba Ray always says it. I think what people used to get pissed at with the women was that they were on the pre-show. That's different than being the opening match. The opening match is the second best spot on the show. If you're not main eventing, you want to open the show. That means that your match is important enough and they think it's going to be good enough to hook the audience, right? And so Bubba Ray says it all the time. If you're not last, you want to be first.
Yeah, so I wonder.
And if you're not either one of those spots, we want you on the pre-show. New Day, suck it, Kofi and Xavier. In kayfabe.
All right, real quick before.
I hope you can never find your deodorant.
Oh, all right. I was going to say your car in the parking garage, but that's what I was going to say. But
I hope every time you put on a pair of socks, there's a hole in them.
Yeah.
I hope every time you try and roll up your deodorant, it breaks.
Yep. I hope every time you wake up in the middle of the night to go pee, you stub your toe. You stub your toe. Everyone's been there. We know.
I hope every time you wake up, you have that little hangnail that just hangs off the side and you have to peel it back and it hurts.
I hope every time you go to open a sauce packet, it rips halfway through and you have to get your finger in there. And then, I hope it doesn't cleanly rip off.
Yep.
That's right. I hope every can of soda you open explodes in your face.
I hope you get that one eyelash that curls back and actually touches your eyeball and you can't get it. And it annoys you for like 2 weeks.
Yeah. All right. Before we plug our stuff and get out of here, though, I do have a question. I'm going to put you on the spot here, Steph. I need your early.
I hope your next hard shell taco is soggy. That's good.
Yeah, there you go. I hope your next hard shell taco is soggy. And Dan saying, Kofi and Xavier spoke their truth and everyone has turned against them. This is why men can't be vulnerable in society.
Come on. Dan. All right. Dan's turning heel tonight.
I want to know, what are your early Royal Rumble picks as we stand right now?
Oh, God. Okay.
Putting you on the spot.
No, because I was literally just thinking the other day, I'm like, this is probably the first year there's no clear front runners.
I agree.
If I were to guess for men, LA Knight.
Oh, all right.
Cody Rhodes.
I just assume they're moving him on to like a world title situation since he dropped the other one. Yeah. Men, it's either LA Knight or KO. For women, I'm really lost on the women, guys.
Yeah, I feel like for the men, I have more of an idea than the ladies right now. Like
the women are so I can't.
Could we see? I mean, you
thinking about this the other day. I cannot.
You are wearing a hat of someone who might be
Chelsea Green.
Well, you are wearing a hat of one Becky Lynch, who's rumored to be coming back right around the Netflix Raw time potentially. There is Charlotte Flair still looming as well.
I heard Charlotte Flair. They said Charlotte Flair coming back like soon.
Yeah, I heard November, but we're past November, so but there are rumors.
I would not, believe the Becky rumors.
That's fair. Okay.
What was that little smile you did after you said that?
No, we're not diving into it. She said it and we move on. What? That's what happens.
I wouldn't believe it. The women are so hard. If I was to guess, or just based off my likes, it'd be Chelsea Green.
Okay.
But I don't see her getting a Mania match, so that's why I'm like Bianca.
Could it be? I was gonna say because. Well, we don't really know what's going on with Jade, but you would assume that Bianca Jade thing would be a big match at Mania, right? I think it should be Bianca.
I don't think Nia's going into Mania with the title.
I agree.
I think she's going to drop it to Tiffany via cash-in at some point.
You think that's the match still at Mania, though, but Tiffany's maybe the champ?
Tiffany's the champ, but I think Tiffany will be going against
somebody else.
Bianca or Charlotte or someone like
Tiffany
that.
And Charlotte would be.
I think Charlotte could. I don't think Charlotte will win Rumble, though. I think Charlotte would win Elimination Chamber to get there. I think the Raw gals are going to be the ones doing Royal Rumble.
Charlotte shows up at 30. The whole place.
The
whole place just goes.
It's happening again. It's happening again.
Mother
but that's what they should do. They should have, if she's going to be in the Rumble, she should be like in the final two. So everybody's sitting there going, God dang, Charlotte's going to win again. And then she loses. And it's like, oh, okay.
Charlotte if it's going to be the Mania match, I feel like Rhea has to win the Rumble.
Yeah, I was going to mention
she'll be the first woman to win it twice, right?
Yeah, I believe so.
Gotta start stacking.
And my thing is, like I'm expecting Bianca to face Jade at Mania, like a big one-on-one between the two of them. Because I think that Bianca will be the one that attacked Jade. I think that's what we'll find out. Look, Bianca is once in a generation. She's one of the best. She's a great baby face. But I think I'm kind of ready to see NXT heel Bianca for a little bit. I think I'm ready.
Not even NXT heel Bianca, but like next level, main roster, kind of like NXT, like that same,
but just elevated,
but elevated. Like I think she would be an amazing heel.
I've said this for a little while now. At some point in the next 2 to whatever years, I kind of want her and Montez to be a power heel couple on a television show. Like, let them be on SmackDown. Give Montez that solo run that everybody knows he's capable of and is wanted. Him and Bianca as a heel, we're cocky. We're better than you. We look better than you. We're cooler than you. Like that type of power couple.
Yeah.
Oh, man, I would love it. I would eat it up. If we could get that at some point down the line. But I think potentially as far as the we're gonna get out of here. I think Cena could be a Royal Rumble thing.
I didn't think about him.
Cena, I know we all picked Gunther to win on to lose on Saturday, but I think Cena and Gunther for the title at Mania is a big match they could do. With Cena winning and breaking Flair's record. I think that's a possibility that could happen. But we are overrun. We got to get out of here.
Yeah, do that overtime.
I know we got a little bit of overtime. But thanks for joining us. No, you're good. No, there is no apologies. We're kind of we can go over. We got that TBS overrun. They give it to us every week. So we got it. But plug your stuff. Let people know where they can find you. If you got anything coming up, let the people know, where they can find you on the social medias before we get out of here.
I don't know because I'm nowhere. I'm just kidding. You can find me on Blue Sky at Stephaine Hypes, X at Stephaine Hypes, Instagram at Stephaine Hypes with 2 S's. And that's it for now. Again, I haven't really decided what I'm doing podcasting wise. Do I just jump back in, start doing weekly stuff? Do I do monthly? I don't know. I'm figuring it out. All I know is I want to come on this show, and I'm glad I did.
Yes. And we are obviously more than glad you did as well. Awesome. We appreciate you taking the time. It was a lot of fun. We should do this again soon. So whenever you're free and you want to hop back on, you just let us know. It's an open door policy as far as we're concerned. So
awesome.
Thank you for joining us. We appreciate you.
No problem.
We need to get the little Hypes and Owen together and make them make picks on their favorite wrestlers.
That'd be great. Oh, we could have like the kids
I should do a whole special with just my kid picking who's gonna win.
Yeah. I've tried, but he gets gun shy when the camera comes on. All of a sudden he's like, I'm like, all right, dude. But 5 minutes ago you wouldn't shut up about it.
Mine just started listing off wrestlers. He's like Cena.
Yeah.
KO.
Heck
I'm
yeah.
like, okay, are we just naming people? All right.
Yeah.
that's cool.
I bet. All right, JPJ,
All right.
tell the people, or do you want me to go?
All right. Bye, Steph. We appreciate
Bye.
you.
Merry
Bye,
Christmas,
Steph.
y'all.
Merry, yes, have a wonderful holiday. Merry
Bye.
Christmas to
All right,
you.
thank
Hope
you so
everything
much.
goes swimmingly.
Love you.
And hopefully
You're
we'll
the
see you
best.
down the road. So
Thank you guys.
you're the best. Thank you.
Bye.
Stephaine Hypes, everybody. Go give her all the love. Go follow her. She is excellent.
Boom.
One of the nicest people I've ever met in the wrestling media and just in general. She's the best.
She's awesome.
All right, Pluggo. We've gone a little bit over tonight, so do your thing. Let the people know where they can find you, where they can find us, and what you got coming up this week, my dude.
Well, possibly, maybe this Saturday, For Exposure will return.
Yes,
so
you had a week off because of
stay
the
tuned.
because of work holidays.
Shoot jobs we got in the way. We're working that out. We're trying to figure it out. The schedule's been nuts. So go For Exposure Pod for that. Every Thursday night with this gentleman here, 8 p.m. Between Two Beards at B2Beards across all social media platforms to stay up to date with what we've got going on there. You'll want to follow that because we got a lot going on the next couple of weeks. And then at Pluggo on social media, you search Pluggo. I'm there on all the social media platforms. Check that out. That's where you could find me.
Hell yeah. And you can find me, JPJ Loves Gaming, on all social media platforms, including Twitch and over on the YouTube as well. Thursday nights, like he said, I'm here with him every 8 p.m. The flagship. Every 8 p.m. Every Thursday at 8 p.m. Between Two Beards. You can catch me on Tuesdays. You can catch me at Tuesdays and Thursdays at 10 a.m. right here on this very channel with our pal Drew Nicholas. Firmly Love Wrestling. We talk WWE on Tuesdays. We talk AEW on Thursdays. You can also see me and Pluggo talking some pigskin, some NFL stuff every Wednesday on our own B2 Beards Twitter and Facebook accounts. That's a lot of fun to kind of talk football and not just, kind of go outside the wrestling box from time to time. So that's been a lot of fun. And on my own channel, JPJ Loves Gaming, every Monday, Tuesday, and Friday, we are doing watch-alongs to WWE stuff. So I got some friends joining me, Ophelia, Matt, some others, and things like that. So come hang out if you're watching the shows.
I got to stop by one of those soon.
You kind of do. I'm potentially looking for someone tomorrow. But it's okay. We'll find it. We'll see. We'll figure it out. But so come check out and hang out with us there. Appreciate everyone in the chat tonight. This was a fun one.
Yeah.
Oh, is it? They announced that? They announced Zilla Fatu versus Cardona. Or is that happening right now, currently?
I don't think if you know 2 versus Cardona is happening. That would be probably House of Glory.
Yeah. Cardona's got a
Zilla ain't coming back, DC Dub.
No, he got booted out.
Highest in the room is this Saturday. That's gonna be a good one.
Yeah, it should.
I think that's why we're trying to figure out if we could squeeze in for Exposure because we want to talk about that. January 17th. Heck yeah.
Love it. All right, everybody in the chat, thank you. This was a fun one tonight. Appreciate all the love and all the likes.
Yeah, and if you came here for deep AEW talk that I put in the tweet, go watch Firmly AEW.
Wait, did you?
I did. We it's fine. I said we were going to talk about some other stuff, but it was fine. It's fine. We had a great show. Go watch Firmly. They talked about all of it this morning.
We did. If you want some in-depth AEW talk, you can.
You know how we play it?
Me and Drew.
Just because I tweeted doesn't mean it's going to happen.
It's true. But for Pluggo, for myself, once again, thank you to Stephaine Hypes joining us. That was an awesome time. And we will see all of you next week here. Same time, same channel for another episode of Between Two Beards. But until then, you know the drill.
Say hi to Sue. Sue, hi, Sue.
Oh, yeah. Say hi to Sue.
Hey there, PLUGGO and JPJ. It's Trent's mom, Sue, and I have a bone to pick with you. So, I understand that you guys are being real idiots and spending your entire monthly budget. You've got to be kidding me. This is not the way to be when you're trying to run a business. Your boss, Spencer, is really pissed off at you. I'm pissed off at you. You have some nerve. Get a grip. You have to control yourself. You can't just go out and spend all the money that you're making, you Two Beards guys. Oh no, this is coming out so stupid. Anyway, behave yourselves. or I'm going to cut you off from watching AEW. You're no longer going to get to know, be able to meet my son. What? Or me. I'm sorry, this is like, I don't know. Anyway, thanks so much for being fans. Watch yourselves.